She says it on Mystery Hunters. This really creeps me out.
You really creep her out.
Lenny, we need you to promise not to chew during this podcast.
No eating in the microphone.
I'll chew off camera. I'm a little nauseous.
Camera
right
off microphone.
I've ingested some off-color substances in the past
Literally.
few hours. But again, this is Christina Broccolini Weekend. Happy birthday, and please, Maniacs, forward the birthday wish on behalf of Big Lenny the Maniacs to the goddess Christina.
And he ate a stripper's ass.
Yes.
In honor of Christina.
Well,
we have Andrew Collura with us tonight from South Carolina. It's been a fun day with him. Filmed him repping 315 on the incline, and now we have him on the podcast. Good
I
to
wouldn't
have
say
you.
repping, but I got a couple.
You got 4, I think.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Not
too
bad.
modest.
Yeah.
What are you repping, Dale? What are you repping?
Dale's injured, you asshole.
A walker?
Such a prick.
Take kid gloves off, Dale. We need to get back to the old ways. Get you back into shape.
I'm a little disappointed the bedroom bully didn't show up. I wanted to challenge him in the boxing ring to a 30-second match.
Yeah, Jay issued the challenge first.
Yeah.
And didn't show up.
Right. He was posting on Instagram sitting in a jacuzzi. You didn't see that?
He was
Where's
moisturizing his fucking hemorrhoids or whatever. It was therapy for his asshole.
With the
bleeding.
jet probably spraying right up his ass.
Yeah, that probably feels good on hemorrhoids.
Yeah, warm baths, very good for it.
Bidets.
I had a warm tongue on my
Right into it.
hemorrhoid.
Okay.
A warm Cuban tongue. Doesn't get any better than that.
He was hoping to be here so you could put ice cubes in his asshole.
I've had a girl do that.
No, it wasn't his fault
not
though.
my house.
He got stuck with a trip up to
It
Atlanta.
feels good when you ejaculate to have an asshole full of ice cubes. Been there, done that. Very pleasurable.
Lenny's been there, done a lot of things. Very few things he hasn't been there and done that.
Yeah, and he's spoken about all the shit that you've done too.
Now we have you here in the flesh to talk about it.
Yeah.
See if it's true.
Where do
what
we
he says.
start?
Fine.
A trip down Mentomery Lane. Right?
You're totally converted now, though, right?
Converted
He's
to...
repenting.
On Christianity, yeah. I mean, on good days, I'll say yeah. At the very least, I would never deny the existence. At the very least, on a bad day, you have the duality. You still have your free will. It's what it boils down to. But at the very least,
And we're all sinners.
yeah,
We're going to sin no matter what.
That's the gospel, really. I mean, I'll take a little bit of time. I'm sure people don't want to hear about it, but that's in essence what it is. Brad, if you were the only one ever to live on this planet, Christ would have died for you. That's what it's all about. And Andrew and me. I'm the most wicked person in this room.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know about that. You're sitting next to him.
Well, you think in terms of overt things, but a lot of it's what goes on in your mind. Worrying about things, worrying about a paycheck, whatnot, where your food's going to come from. So, but yeah, I mean, I can get into that if you want to talk about that, the reasons why. But
Now we can talk about all the fucked up shit.
we talk about whatever you want.
When
Whatever.
did you have an epiphany? Or
I mean,
were you raised, since you're Italian?
no, I was raised Catholic.
you're
Yeah, I
Catholic,
went so far as making my communion. Parents are like, at the very least, I had to do that confession. Even at a young age, I said, "There's something wrong with this. I'm confessing to some guy." You know how that turns out with the Catholic Church. Didn't see the need. My dad didn't go, but made the communion, and they're like, "You need to make your confirmation if you're going to get married in the Catholic Church." I'm like, "I'm not getting married." So that was the end of that. I wouldn't say I still believed in God and a higher power at those times, but didn't understand the whole concept of like Christianity, born again faith. LA Fitness, I had a couple clients who would like what you call witness to me. So that's where it started. And then I had the hernia surgery and was laid up in there for a week. Should have been an outpatient procedure. My parents drove down from Carolina to be with me. But I was in there. Blood pressure went through the roof. They couldn't figure out why.
The hernia was in your stomach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should have been a simple procedure.
What caused it?
Wear and tear. I never had any pain. I just had a bulge in my stomach. One day I was like, oh shit, I know. Because he had the inguinal hernia, which is common in
I
the
have
groin.
one right above my belly button. It's an umbilical hernia. I've had it since I was born.
I had a
I've never
ventral.
never got it fixed.
Yeah, mine was it's ventral and umbilical, so it was big. I mean, if you don't get it taken care of, get strangled, turn gangrene. So I got that. But in there in that hospital, I'd say, is when I realized that, all these things that people were telling me. You watch those Christian programs in there. So then, I was like, I'm going to stay clean from here on out. But I dabbled with some roids in 2009 up in Carolina and then in 2012. But since then, nothing. Just haven't had the desire to compete or whatever.
I'm actually impressed with your strength and your muscle mass retention, even though I know you're not. For 40 years old, it's pretty impressive.
When do you turn 40? This year?
August, yeah.
Before you, Brad.
Yeah.
You're the baby.
November, yeah.
Better than the average person, but to my standard, what I'm used to. But again, I seem to forget I'm not taking anything. It makes a big difference.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But I believe going balls to the wall, that's kind of why me and Lenny, met and trained together, because there's nobody like him. Mm-hmm. So it was like the perfect storm meeting. I actually first saw him in Bali, Scandinavia in 96. He was doing the neck harness.
I didn't even know him back then. Yeah, he saw me well before.
He had the glasses on. He looked like a pedophile, like Drew Carey.
That's
he had
right.
hair.
You wore glasses.
You were training with Mike.
That was at the Bally's in Boca.
Bali Skin, yeah.
With Mike
Awesome
P.
looking women there. Oh, yeah. And, yeah, Mike
Right by
P.
Nippers.
Jenny Babcock with her black tights with a horse's ass squatting. Makes you want to go in the restroom and bust out a nut.
Yeah, she used to live right across the street. But that's where I first saw him, but we weren't like formally introduced or anything. And then when I moved to Boynton, he was with Anthony Hamilton over at the Willard's World Gym on Boynton Beach, or Hypelux Zone Congress.
Big Anthony, 6'6",
Oh, you had one in Hypelux
330.
Zone Congress?
Yeah.
I worked at that gym for 2 weeks doing
Did you?
membership sales, and I couldn't take it. I
The
quit.
gym we were at this morning, the Busybody, was Jim Willard.
That was Willard's gym
Yes.
too, yeah. But Lenny was eyeing me up. I don't think he liked me. I remember the first thing he said to me afterwards, I thought you were a spick with that little chain in your pocket. Because I had the goatee.
Who's this Puerto Rican inclining 315 for reps? Young guy.
What were you lifting at the time?
I was lifting the same, but gassed up and
Yeah.
wasn't a teenager. Shocked. And then spoke a few words, and then I saw Andrew again when they opened the new World Gym. And
Yeah.
That was
Delray, previous.
which is now Planet Fitness.
Is it? It's
Yeah,
Planet Fitness.
It's now Planet Fitness.
Yeah, the hot cock girls.
Talk
there,
about
too.
ironic. It goes from
Yeah.
one of the most hardcore, crazy gyms imaginable to a Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
And if you go in there, it's the exact same layout. It's
Really?
crazy, but it's a Planet
No
Fitness.
free weights, though.
Some.
Very
What do the dumbbells go up to? 70?
70 or 75, I think, the dumbbells.
Tons of TVs, tons of cardio equipment.
The
Yeah.
heaviest.
It's a crying shame.
It's geared towards old people and women.
The heaviest preset easy curl bar goes up to 60 pounds.
Really?
Yeah. And my weak ass is complaining about that, so it's bad.
Yeah, you were with Jim Stewart, I remember.
Yes.
And I was walking in, you guys were on your way out. And I think I knew Jim from somewhere else because he came up and we stopped and we were talking. He's like, you really don't need heavy weights.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to impress upon Lenny. And you're laughing.
Yeah, guy with 12-inch arms saying that.
And then we started seeing each other there. We started training together. And he was living with the Nelsons. I gave him a ride home.
He's lifting big freaking weight, but his back, he hurt his back. And
Yeah.
I said, why don't you try doing these rack deadlifts or deadlifts
Yeah.
off the floor, actually, real slow. And he was actually putting a plate a month on his deadlift, to where he was doing a plate, and by the end of like 3 months or so, 6 months, he was doing 6 or 7 plates for reps off the floor. Did you hear that, Big J?
And you never tore
7
anything?
plates for 4.
No, just lower back
He
strain.
tore his pec at the New
Tore the
World
pec.
Gym.
But yeah, I was 19 or 20. I was working at Motorola on before it came. It's like on Gateway and Congress. It's like townhomes now in a business center.
Yeah, yeah.
Motorola pagers.
Right, yeah.
And I met some cool people there. I was getting some stuff from them. I was getting Winnie and D-Ball and stuff. But I was young, like 18, 19. Then I took off a couple years. I was 240 pounds when he and I started lifting, and then went
No
on.
traps, and no
Nothing.
muscle on his back.
Just doing, bench, not much.
But that muscle exploded, came out of nowhere.
Shied away from the deads and the squats, got back into that, went up to 280, I remember.
Remember, for his 19th birthday, he squatted 6 plates and a 10
Jesus.
for 2 sets of 12.
And you were saying before we started filming for the podcast, you don't consider yourself someone who was born with genetics to weightlift and powerlift.
No.
What makes you say that?
Small joint structure, small bones. There he is,
Yeah,
little
this-
Kimbo.
He's thinking, do I want to shit on the floor or not?
And his 2 litter boxes.
Shit in the box. Oh, look, he got his attention.
Think he
That's
likes
the
you.
thing
He's
with
a
cats.
he's a cat
I knew you
whisperer.
could communicate with him.
Cat whisperer.
You're freaking him out. Now he's
No,
gonna
I don't think I have great genetics. I think
go
just
shit on your pillow.
consistency, just staying with it. That was the goal, tunnel vision.
And eating what they say don't eat.
Yeah.
The cheese bacon burgers,
Right.
cheeseburgers, pizzas,
He'd make
ice
these
cream.
these shakes. I told people up in Carolina, and even remember it. Butter shakes we called them. It had everything but the kitchen sink, and we drank that. It was like drinking pudding. Had to be 5,000 calories. Then we'd hit Wendy's or IHOP, triple cheeseburgers, shakes, and that's 10, 20,000 calories a day. Taking all those androgen and took it on size.
And at what point did you realize, holy shit, I can lift a whole lot more weight than the average person in a gym?
when everybody would stop and stare at me in prime time in the gym with all these so-called bodybuilders that would piss me off just the sight of them. Remember that guy who was over by the cables? I hated the guy, just the look of him. You know, that Italian guy. He looked good, but I was like, he wasn't moving any weight.
Pretty boy.
Yeah. I mean, Sherry Lee would turn beautiful blonde. You remember her, that trainer.
Nice
Awesome.
round ass.
I mean,
horse's ass.
Amazing looking.
Why do you keep saying horse's ass?
She had a horse's ass.
Yeah.
You ever see a horse's ass?
Yeah.
It's
You
big,
think that
it's
looks good?
thick. Looks good on a girl and a tranny.
And the funny thing is, I wouldn't even sleep. I had sleep apnea that was undiagnosed.
He'd come over and eat breakfast at my place. He'd fall asleep on my recliner just from sitting upright. He'd be asleep in minutes. Horrible.
Lenny would make me high-calorie breakfast in exchange for I give him a ride to the gym.
Drag
take him to work.
ourselves to the gym. But once that warm-up set started, we got woke up real quick.
Oh, yeah.
When he gets under 5 plates on a flat bench.
I don't know how you work out with all that food in your stomach.
We go out in the sun for 45 minutes.
That's true.
Let it digest a little bit.
Yeah, all right.
We inject ourselves in the parking lot.
I remember that. I remember
glass
that.
ambules. Andrew used to break everyone clean by closing his car door on a glass ambulance. It'd snap up perfect every time. Pull out the syringe right in the parking lot, broad daylight, pull down our pants, inject each other, and like, you know, we didn't throw the needles on the floor, but
I don't know if you remember this. This probably was like in 2000 or 2001. You guys were injecting in the parking lot early in the morning, and I was walking into the gym. And we said what's up to each other, and you said to me, "You ever try test?" I'm like, "No." And you go, "You want to try some?" I'm like, "I'm good, thanks. I'll see you in the gym, Lenny."
what were we thinking?
Took me 15 years later to find.
Remember I had the little white pickup truck?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We lean against the truck.
That's right.
And I'll never forget, it was early evening on a Friday night, and right in front of the store, Big Lots was next to the gym.
That's right.
It was still sunny out, and a black girl and a blonde, could have been more than 16, with the Big Lots uniforms, came trotting up to us with these huge smiles on their faces. And I looked at them, and they looked at us with the biggest smile on their face and said, "Can we suck your dicks, please? Can we suck your dicks?" And I looked, I said, "We got a workout to do. We'll be out in an hour and a half. Be glad to do it." And we, some reason, our stupid asses, we weren't afraid. I didn't give a damn if it was underage.
You were that dedicated to your workout.
Whatever.
Probably
We wanted to get the workout done.
How many people would turn down a blowjob?
Especially from these two cutie
We got to go
pies.
work out.
It's like Jim used to say, "Wait before dates." Remember the old guy with the mullet?
But looking back, I think I would have taken the blowjob. Because these girls
And then go work out.
They were cute as pie, and I think it's probably doing more good because God knows what kind of creatures' dicks they put in their mouth after when they could have put the best of the best.
If they're walking up to you guys offering to suck your dick, they
We were big, hairy.
The best of the best.
I think the raw masculinity was such a turn-on for women. We would actually get propositioned many times, and we barely even knew it. They would literally lose their control of their sexual urges.
A lot of missed opportunities, not only with that, with other things.
And I told Andrew, I said, let's do it this way. You see a girl, hit on her. If she turns you down, you get pissed off and you take it out on your next set. But if she gives you the thumbs up, hey, you get a piece. And I said, if you get 3 for 10, you're batting 300. That's almost considered all-star range. And we were at a point where we were getting about 6 out of 10.
That gets you into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no
Right.
shit.
We were getting a
300.
6 out of 10. We were Hall of Fame with the women.
Yeah,
Well, like I was telling you at the gym before with the singing and shit, I said, what's the worst they can say? No.
Yeah,
Who gives a fuck?
exactly.
So Lenny
And
went
look
up
at
there
me
and
at
asked,
LA Fitness approaching girls.
Yeah, all the time.
Ask and
Everybody
you
take
shall
it.
receive. We were told by an old wise man. Ask and you shall receive.
No
Who was
girl has
that?
told him no.
It's that guy from New
Really?
York.
Yeah, when he's like, "Yo, you want to take a picture?" Like, sure.
Yeah.
They start posing.
Do you want to give me an ass whooping? Yeah.
Yeah, but then how many of
And then
those have you gotten?
10 minutes later, their Instagram goes
Right,
private.
they're trolls.
Yeah.
So then they fucking they make their that's the shit.
But like I said, maniacs, we also need your help on this one. Get us somebody to do it. Do the ass whooping video, domination style. Who are we going to get?
You couldn't talk that stripper into doing it.
I don't know. I think I'd get there talking to an
Yeah,
ass licking video.
We
But I don't know about
spent
it.
we spent the afternoon at Diamond Dolls down in Pompano with Mike T, and
Mikey Tits.
Lenny got himself a hot Cuban in the champagne room.
A black Cuban, actually.
That's right.
So
And
we walked in there.
who had terrible English, right?
Yeah, they had a mirror and a bench and a curtain. I sat down. She said, all right, 100. I said, what's that get me? She says, take it out. Give it to me. She's looking at my wallet. So gave her the 100, and then she's like, I want 20 more. I says, when we're done, I'll probably give you more. So we kissed for very briefly, and then I came down and I decided to suck her nipples around her breasts. Then I started to lick and suck her armpits, which she was very ticklish and squealing. So then after that, I turned her around. This is when I'm sitting on the bench. And I stuck my tongue rigid and stuck it right up her ass. And I licked it really good for a good 3 minutes.
You rimmed the strip.
And then I sucked it. Yeah, I rimmed it. I went right down on it.
And you wonder why you're feeling nauseous.
Right down on it. I don't know if that's the reason, but... And she was moaning and groaning,
fish.
Whatever.
You really did eat her
I turned
ass.
her around, and when I saw there was something missing. Honestly, I don't know if I'm spoiled or what, but there was something
If you're
missing.
spoiled. What the fuck is that?
So then,
What was missing, Leonard? A 10-inch cock.
I hate to say it, but yeah. It's like,
I hate
I've
to
always
say
said, a tranny is the ultimate sexual machine. You can only use one hole at once. What good are two holes? So there, tranny, you get the hole, you get a sack of nuts, get a big shaft. You could...
All right, well, finish what you were saying.
It's enjoying to kiss a girl and see that wood smack you right in the stomach. So she sat down
Deranged fuck.
and put a condom on me, and the whole time, she gave me oral sex. She's using her fingers and feeling my legs. I was flexing them, and then she's feeling my ass. I'm sure it's hard as rock knuckles, flat, flabby cookie cutters, wimps that go into that place. We saw some real physical specimens in there. Look like asses, like cottage cheese. And she was grabbing the whole time. She was sucking me off. She's grabbed my ass. So I turned her on. I figure I'm going to get things going a little bit, take it to the next level. So I grabbed her high. She had 2 high-heeled shoes on. I grabbed her leg and took one of the heels, where the bottom part is, and I shoved it up my ass. And in a minute, she got real scared, and she fell off the stool onto the floor.
Oh, my God.
And I was basically grabbing her with one hand and shoving that spike up my ass. I was bent over. And she kept saying, "You crazy, you crazy, you're crazy."
Before you brought her in there, you were trying to get her to fist you.
Right. I was trying to get,
I was actually serving
I
as
wanted
your...
a dry fist.
I was your Spanish translator trying to seal the deal.
Yeah, and she was telling me, "Fuck you," and this and that, but...
Yeah, she said, "You fuck you, you're crazy."
Yeah, the funny thing is...
Actually,
But you got her to do what you want.
No. When I said he wants you to fist her, when he wants you to fist him in Spanish, he called you a big maricon.
Yeah.
Grande maricon.
Thank you. I like being called that. The strange thing was, once I was bent over, she sat back up on the stool, and I put my ass right in her face. She grabbed it with her hands. I could feel her nails digging into my butt cheeks.
Oh, man.
And I felt she put her tongue real gentle and real close, like real hesitant. She licked it a little bit, and I guess maybe she liked what she tasted. And
Yeah, but you just took a shit 10 minutes before.
I did.
He did. He went and took a...
Maybe it cleared out the...
That's what she didn't know.
it
You were in the
cleared out-
bathroom 10
She had
minutes
to
earlier.
figure.
And there's no way with your flexibility that you can wipe properly.
Is that a Freudian
There
slip,
had
Brad?
there had to have been shit.
How would you
left
know
over.
that?
Reach around and wipe your ass right now. Look, you can barely get to your ass.
Oh, please. Brad, you're exactly...
Did you have the bathroom attendant clean your asshole?
No, he had, gave me some soap. And
You should have sprayed cologne up your ass.
Yeah, or use one of those wet cloths.
well, anyway, she liked what she...
Oh, hey. she's
Obviously
a
liked
fucking
something
pig.
about it. She stuck it in.
She liked the money you gave her when you
gave me
were
the-
done is what she liked.
She
She
gave me the-
actually rimmed you right after you
She
took
gave
a
me the
shit.
penetration and started going deeper and harder, and it felt great.
With her tongue or her hand?
I recommend Jay Masters get one with his hemorrhoid problem he's currently having. That's the best cure for it.
You have hemorrhoids too, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
But it felt fantastic.
She might develop a taste for it now. When
Probably
she's in there
a
with
little-
those guys, she might say, "Can we do the other thing?
Should
Like
we do?
you-
Should we
With
fucking
Big Man
bed
had me
next
do?
week?
Well, I don't think any man has an ass as tight as me. A guy that's squatting, leg pressing, riding a bike, taking juice and eating right. I don't got those cookie cutter, flabby wimp butts like those creatures in there.
What do you care about
Mine's
men's
hard as a
asses
rock.
for?
Because it's important.
It's important.
It's important. That's a sign of a fighting ability, too. If you have no ass, you're going to get your ass handed to you. So anyway, she started licking. It was a good 5 minutes. I was just bent over. I put my hands on my knees, like lineman position before you get down. And I was shocked. She was really, really going.
So she rusty tromboned you? Did she jerk you off too?
Yeah, she was feeling my balls and stuff and just basically grabbing my thighs.
You were jerking yourself?
Yeah, I jerked myself a bit, but I just enjoyed the ride, actually. So then without speaking, I turned around. She grabbed her little rubber, whatever it is. I don't really like to use them. They're for cookie cutters. She put it on me, and she started to suck me off.
Yeah.
So it felt pretty good. And then, she's feeling my legs and ass again. And then she started sticking her fingers up in it. It felt really good. Almost just as good, if not better than the tongue. And I said, fuck it, I better expedite this. So I started jerking it. While I was jerking it, she forcefully stuck about 2 fingers up at a time with her right hand. And, I gave out a big moan and groan or whatever, and she ducked. And I busted a nut on the mirror right behind her head. And some of it trailed off and was in her hair. But I let out a huge yell, and it's like,
It's like Jerry curl juice.
Yeah. And she took some tissues out of her purse and wiped it off. And I felt like my heart was going into AFib again. I was like, oh, shit. We came staggering out of there. And there was a bouncer sitting right outside, heard every word. And then I remember before we left, she's like, all right, I want more money. I said, I don't have any more. It's like, you promised. She's standing in front of the door. So I don't have it. So I basically for $100, which was supposedly unheard of. I gladly would have gave more, but
What a filthy bitch. $100 to eat his asshole
After he took a shit. Yeah.
God damn.
well,
Only
she was.
And then 10 minutes later, she's at a makeout with some other guy in the same room.
Well, actually,
Exactly.
she was so clean. It was almost, you missed that little twinge and taste of shit and sweat. She was too clean. But what the hell?
Well, it's like when I worked at Peekaboo. I was actually a virgin working in a strip club, 19 years old, Peekaboo in Lake Worth.
Oh, I remember Peekaboo's.
Yeah.
Andrew, not only that, you were the only virgin benching over 600 pounds.
Freddie, remember Freddie the Haitian, the bodybuilder? I go in there because we bounce. The same owner owned Chino's in West Palm, so we get off and go there. And the girls would put their hands in my face, and Freddie, because I was so naive, I was ignorant, I was going in there. He's like, don't put your fucking hands in his face. He goes, she's probably fucking some guy, jerking him off, and she's going to stick her hands in your face. Nasty looking girls there. And when I worked there, the back room with the lights on, ugh.
Peekaboo's was arguably the most ghetto strip club in South Florida.
Leonard's getting excited.
God knows
Truckers
how long.
must have been Jay Masters. I remember truckers dropping crack whores off. They come up looking for a job. I'd have to tell them to get lost. I was working the door at 3 in the morning.
Lot lizards.
So Jay Masters is a trucker or a crack whore? Or both. A crack whore tranny trucker.
He definitely doesn't smoke crack. You're not that fat.
Did you bring him to the dark side? How did all that...
Some
You
ways.
knew Lenny when you were bouncing at that club or no?
Actually,
No, it's
Andrew tried to bring me to the dark side. Your dark side, Brad, if you know what, get my drift. He told me to open his glove compartment, and there was a bag of one of Brad's little favorites.
Hippie lettuce?
Right, glass dick lettuce.
You fucking moron.
I had that, and I had something called White Magic. He opted for the White Magic.
Oh, man, that was the first time I used GHB.
GBL.
Oh, not the booger
I
sugar.
got on it, riding my bike up and down Congress like a maniac, passed out, woke up Saturday morning. This is when I didn't work on Saturdays. It's a long time ago. And I'm sleeping on my bike, and I could feel like the pain of my leg, which was good because nobody stole it. And I woke up as soon as the sun came out, fell right on the fucking road. And no ambulance came. I don't know how long I was sitting there, but and took my bike.
See, I feel bad. He led me astray. I led him astray with the G. He never would have known.
Well,
what it
the
was.
G, we could have died, should have died. Not from the drug itself, but from passing out behind a wheel. I would recommend
many
it.
times.
But, we're alive and here for a reason.
Is that when you crashed your mother's car? Were you on GH?
Twice. Well, I was offended about the last time, but the first time, 2001, I crashed right on 95, right in the exit, and I felt horrible. And within 20 seconds, this state trooper with a big veiny arm opened my door, and I know.
Isn't it crazy how he remembers that detail?
He said to me, "You got anything for me, Lenny?" Meaning, he wanted to know if I had a D-ball, and I'm like, I said, "What happened?" He goes, "You just hit about 12 cars there, buddy." And I said, "Anybody hurt?" He goes, "There's bodies all over." I said, "No." I said, "Shoot me. Take me to jail." He said, "Shut up, you big baby." As far as I know, some fat bitch over there said she hurt her neck, probably wants to sue your insurance. He goes, "We're going to take care of this whole thing for you." I didn't even get a ticket. I felt bad about it.
Get the fuck out of here.
I didn't even get a ticket. He took care of the whole fucking thing. And the scary thing was, I was to return my mother's car for her at work, pick her up, and she'd take me home.
How did the
totaled.
how did the trooper know who you are?
Because I knew him from the gyms. Actually, he was one of Andrew's old training partners who remained nameless because he's still with the force.
Okay.
A big vein. He actually looks
That's
like
a true story.
He actually looks like just like Ken Waller from Pumping
You
Iron.
hit 10 fucking cars and you didn't even get a ticket?
No, he said, "We'll take care of it for you."
Even I was shocked when he told me, but
And he instructed the other troopers to take care of it.
Kid you not. Yeah, when he told me.
Nothing.
Shit.
Yep.
Which I wasn't too crazy about. But the bad thing was when he took me to my mother's office, she didn't see me in the back of the car. She saw this state trooper coming. You could tell she was freaking out and panicking. She thought that they were going to say, "Oh, I died." Then I came out and he said Lenny was in a fender bender and I took care of it. And
What time of day was this?
for rush hour, 4:30, maybe on a Monday or Tuesday
And
afternoon.
you passed out with GHB.
Knocked me right out, which is a good reason I'll never drive on that again. I mean, hey, for heaven forbid,
Yeah.
I would have hurt somebody.
Yeah.
I couldn't live with myself. No way.
And the one time, I can't for the life of me remember the place we were bouncing at West Palm in the techno room with the girl with no underwear on. Both of us took too much one night, and we ended up out in the street. I don't know if they threw
It
us
was
out.
staggering. You
Yeah.
were going
Yeah.
like this. And
Yeah. So we're out in the street. Paramedics came for him because he was worse off than me.
I actually shit myself.
Yeah.
He took me to Good
Yeah.
Samaritan.
Too much G, you'll do that.
You lose control of your bowels.
Yeah.
They brought me in. This nurse said, "Why do they bring these people here?" Because I was like really big and ripped.
I was hammered. And they let me go. They took him and they put him in the ambulance, and I don't even know. Nobody even questioned me. I walked off. I had a wife beater on. Somehow I found my truck, the red pickup truck, got in the truck, got a few blocks away, puked my guts up. I didn't even have the presence of mind to open the door. I was so hammered. All over me.
Oh my God.
Passed out, woke up, cops banging on my window. Somewhere near the Intercoastal in Flagler up in West Palm. They're like, "What are you, a chef? You got food all over your pants." I said, "No, me and my buddy went to some black bar. We had a couple drinks, and the next thing I know, we're puking our guts up." So they did the breathalyzer, nothing. Gave me some tenants. I was started coming out of it then, but I was like still like hammered, like everything's spinning. They're like, "Well, tell you what, we're just gonna get a tow truck, get your truck towed across the bridge, and then release it to you." Which I don't understand to this day why they did that. Still let me drive
We were
off.
freaks.
And I started getting pissed off because I knew I was gonna have to pay some money to get it back. And they're like 10 cops. They're all like backing off. They're like, "Look at the size of this guy, like 290 pounds." But tow truck came, towed the vehicle. I was riding with the guys. Like, "I'm just gonna take you across the bridge, give you the truck back." Went home, went to IHOP somewhere on Federal, and I don't remember what happened.
I spent the night in
Didn't
ER.
Rosie get you?
I called my ex-wife.
Called his ex-wife. I don't know where he was. Nobody told me anything. I just walked, staggered
she
off to
caught
my
my
car.
shit-covered body, which they didn't bother cleaning me up. Actually, the next day I heard the doctor talking. Boy, you see Arnold Schwarzenegger in room D or whatever? Boy, he's a real nice guy now, but he came in like the devil last night.
Well, was it like the time you were at, what was her name? Ariel's.
Yes.
On GHB, I'm home
Puerto
watching
Rican tranny in West Palm.
watching WrestleMania. I had those illegally programmed cards for
Yeah, the
DirecTV. I'm
cards,
sitting
yeah,
on my
yeah.
couch watching with my dad. He calls me. He's hammered on the stuff. He's with Ariel.
We started French kissing.
Yeah.
Gorgeous kisser. She was doing lines.
Again, with the
She's
French
snorting coke like it's going out of style.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, here comes the sheriff
That gets him
deputies.
nice and horny.
And one of them name was Aaron Saw, black guy I knew from Bally's.
Don't name
He was one
names.
of them.
Don't say last names, Leonard.
Saw, S.A. is a simple
All right,
name
all right.
for a simpleton. So when I was, puking all in this girl's house, she's, freaking out, thought I was going to die. And one of the cops told me when I was puking, he says, "I'm standing there naked as a jaybird, covered in puke in her kitchen." And she's all freaking out talking to the cops. "I don't know what it is and that." And the cop said, because I was heavy at the time, he says, "What is wrong with you?" Because you're the pretty hot chick and you're acting like a complete asshole. He says, "You better look in the mirror, buddy, because I don't think you get too many more opportunities." Literally know what she was, but literally know what I was doing. And the funny thing was, to me, it never made sense to this day. They says, "Well, what do you want us to do? You want to take him out of here?" Or she goes, "No, he can stay." It's like, whatever. So she put her clothes through the wash, and so just went home from there. Ariel, the tranny, the Puerto Rican.
Fucking believable.
And then I took Andrew up there about a few months later, paid for his session, and he just said, "Boy, she's got a muscular back."
She was one of the more masculine
She's a
ones.
good kisser, though.
It's all about availability. Lenny had a book. It was about gear. Paul Borison's book.
Yeah.
Was it his?
Yes.
Basically, he said, when you're on that much stuff, when your sex drive's through the roof, her eyebrow can turn you on, or whoever, he, she, it, and you're gonna want to do something because
Yeah.
it's like uncontrollable. You're talking about me in my early 20s taking that much gear, and it was just a perversion aspect from
Yeah, we used to
trying.
rent a lot of porn VHS tapes. This is way before computer internet. Used to rave over those things. Yeah, which is, well, we'd feel like fiends going there.
Better than that Val where, what's his name? Ken.
That was in my neighborhood. Yeah,
So you two homos would watch porn before you go to the gym together?
yeah, we'd watch
Hey,
it. Sometimes we'd watch it
porn.
together. It was good motivation.
Yeah, the only stuff we watched, I mean, wasn't any of that. It was
It's pretty tame to where you porn addicts are looking at these days.
Kim Bass, or what was her name?
Nicole Bass.
Nicole Bass beating some guy up.
Ah, disgusting.
Remember Frank came in, he's like, this is weird.
Yeah.
This is weird.
That was Jasmine Radford, the one with the strap-ons. She's actually locally around here. Actually, she was going to sue me. And it's funny, 2 weeks before she was going to sue me, she died. She was getting a further enlargement to her breast implants. She died on the operating table. But
Why would she sue you?
I gave her a Potion 9.
Yeah, I remember
we went to
that.
pick up her mail in her Camaro, and she went actually me to escort her to Orlando and shoot a porno film with her where she'd beat me up, but she didn't want to do it because she said she'd break her hand. You know, there's videos of her out there punching guys in the face.
What's the name again?
Jasmine Radford. She's a black ex-stripper that was also a female bodybuilder, you know, gone the juice or whatever. But when I gave her that Potion 9, she started puking all over the place, and she thought I was going to use it to rape her. And I'm getting calls 2 weeks later saying she's going to sue me and these cops or whatever. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And 2 weeks later, she died.
Yeah, I remember that. It was
So
right when I
anybody
moved
that
to
wants to
Carolina.
sue me or our organization,
What did she
you may
die?
get reap what you
Oh,
sow.
don't say it. What did she die of?
Getting larger breast, huge breast
I don't
implants to
know,
begin
table,
with, and she got them even bigger.
How old was she?
She was in her 40s, but she's in good shape, really strong. Juice to the gill. She's really weird because we go around her apartment complex and she's picking up shit like couches and shit. They're thinking, oh, this is good. I can refurbish it or whatever. Very interesting, but she'd nail guys with strap-ons. That was her thing. She'd do strap-on videos. Never had it done with me though, but I was going to. What the fuck? Kill two birds with one stone. Get paid and get a nice session. But she actually told me that one guy wanted to pay her $10,000 for her to basically execute him. What? That was his sexual fetish, yeah. To be beaten and executed. He's from Canada, and he'd pay her 10 grand. She said many times she'd have guys pay her $300-$400 to walk around to like malls or Walmarts or whatever and verbally abuse them in front of other people. They got off on that.
No shit.
Like white guys say, hey, you stupid motherfucker, what the fuck you doing? You know, and guys would pay for that. Really sick fucks.
Yeah. It takes one to know one, pal. You're calling them sick fucks.
Yeah.
You'd rather have
Next
her
time
just
you
shit
see a
on
black girl or any girl yelling at a guy in Walmart, you know something kinky's going on. Just like if you see Brad in CVS with his girl, she's calling him a dumb fucking postman. I don't like, well, whatever, I guess floats your boat. I hate to say it, but.
No, you're right. Hey, if you're not harming anybody else, who gives a shit what you do? I mean,
Well, I wouldn't
teach
go
his
that
own.
far.
I mean, you wouldn't go that far.
You're going to be judged one day, and you're going to pay the penalty. Mr. Nicholas Cruz, who think he's scot-free, thinking he's going to get worldwide fame and fortune, which he is, and no retribution for what he did.
They're gonna go for the death penalty with that kid, right?
Doesn't matter.
Parkland.
Doesn't matter. There's no deterrent. He need to go for a torture penalty.
Probably rather be dead.
He pleaded no contest. He originally pleaded guilty.
He's not going to get the death penalty. He's going to
They
be
changed it
alive
to
from
no
our
contest.
taxpayer dime.
Who knows? He can convert like the son of Sam. He's a devout Christian now.
There you go.
He's still alive, Berkowitz?
Yeah, Berkowitz. Apostle Paul was a killer. Moses,
Yeah.
killer. David had
Berkowitz was pretty tame. He
He
shot
was
some
a postal
people.
worker, Berkowitz.
There's a lot
Was
lower.
he?
There's a lot more scum than Berkowitz, like the Kansas City Butcher. Look him up in the 80s.
Yeah.
Torturing gay men for 6 weeks. I mean, he's taking photographs, Polaroids of these guys he tortured. They're online. I mean,
Why would you look this shit up?
well, just to see the reality of mankind. And guess what he'd do to finish them off? Inject their eyeballs with Drano. Yeah,
That's his finishing move.
yeah.
As his eyes are open.
Kansas City Butcher.
Nice
It's
and
his
wide.
Italian name. Sick fuck. 6 weeks of torture.
Creativity points.
Yeah.
I remember my middle brother was obsessed with serial killers when we were kids. That's how you knew he was going to be nuts. But ordered a book. My mom got pissed and like sent it
Coming
back.
home with like dead animals and shit.
Well, yeah, we were big. I was into it too. We actually would work in haunted houses at the JCs. Started off, there was a room called the Psycho Tunnel, where this one guy was like a skeleton with a strobe light, so you couldn't see him when you were walking with the effects, and he'd come walking at you. So we went in with our buddies. We let everybody through the side door. There was like 10 of us kids running out in there. And the guy that people started complaining because we see people we knew coming in, the tough guy gangsters, and we'd slam them against the wall and cop feels on the girls. So they stopped one night in the middle of the night, turn on the lights, and like, you guys are copping feels, you're bringing your buddies in. He's like, get out of here. So we're like, all right. And then an hour later, we did the same thing.
Hey, copping feels, nothing wrong with that. Copping feels, well, that's against the law now?
We would smoke dope in the spare room. I remember it was my first experience with a gravity bong.
Yeah, those are great.
Brad would have loved that.
Yeah,
Gravity bong.
yeah, you get one of these, cut it in half, you get a 5-gallon bucket, fill it up, and take a huge hit.
Gee, thanks.
Let's set one up for the next podcast.
Yeah. So go ahead, finish.
That was it. I mean, we just volunteered. I mean, my brother was like very much into it, though.
Who's copping the most feels? You or your brother?
Good. Because I was such an introvert, so shy in high school. I wouldn't have any balls to talk to any girls, so it was like my only chance. They were laughing and giggling. They liked it. It was just a total
I like it.
boyfriend.
They shouldn't have to talk to. We should just be copping the feels.
Yeah, great idea, asshole.
Go
up to any woman and start
that
copping
girl
a feel.
copped the feel on me. Remember, I'm standing there. She came up behind me and
Well,
goosed
because
me.
we were at a fucking strip club.
I didn't mind.
When we were at a strip club, that's what they do
I didn't
there.
mind. She stuck her finger in between my butt cheeks.
But you're at a strip club. That's okay there.
I remember that thick
Fucking
blonde at the
house.
World Gym in Delray. She was on the top of the leg
Ah.
press. She goes, and I had no game. I was just
We asked her,
"You wanna
here's
have-"
our little trick. There's not enough weight
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
Can you please sit on the top of the leg press, load it up? We'd pick the hottest, thickest girl, sluttiest woman in there. Can you please do us a favor? Be all innocent about it. And then it would turn dirty.
She was on top of it. She's like, oh, I feel like I'm having sex. I was doing reps. I was like, you want to come back to Lenny's and have some real sex? She's like, I'm not a whore.
I said, the fuck you're
I said,
not.
no, you're not.
She had leopard
Get
skin
out.
tights on. I'm staring between her legs the whole fucking time doing this.
Remember Marie Pupke? You were giving her forceps on a
a
chin-up?
Haitian woman that married to a white guy asked me to spot her on doing chin-ups, and my tongue was like right
Yeah, I
on the
remember
tights.
that. Nate Jaquette's like, ugh.
She ran in the men. Oh, Mr. Nate Jaquette, Mr. Congressional Democratic Black Caucus, who I saw in Walmart with a
really?
suit on. Yeah, he rubs elbows with Obama. He doesn't know me, right?
I never would have thought, kid, like that. With all
Yeah.
that physical ability.
Or no, Al Jaquette.
Al Jaquette, yeah.
Nate Jaquette.
Who's Nate Jaquette, yeah.
Football player. I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good times at those old gyms.
She ran, Marie Pupke, she ran into the men's. I was naked there, and she ran in. Remember that? And her husband's like, Marie, get back here. He was like a surfer. It was a weird couple, but
I remember we were taking craps in adjacent stalls, and we were talking to each other. Willard's like, women do that shit. He's like, get out of
yeah,
there.
he didn't know
talking
who
to
was
each-
behind there.
Yeah. Remember, he goes, where's the missing link, your partner?
Yeah, kicking us both out for the mucus that I spit on the floor after squatting.
Oh, man.
I had the flu, and I
Yeah.
spit up the green stuff and left a pile of it by the squat rack.
Nasty.
I remember
Dude.
deadlifting, leaving 8 plates. I was like, I don't feel like re-racking.
And everyone would blame us. They come in the next day, oh, it was you. I said, you didn't even see me fucking do it.
Remember that guy who was dumping our 100-pound plates, that prick, that blonde? He goes, take one more step and I'll call the cops, Lenny.
Yeah.
You stay back.
I saw him at the gas station. We kicked me out of the gym.
Dave.
I said, you want to do something to me now? You got something to say? Because I'll call him. It takes one phone call. Yeah, you real man, you piece of crap. And
We'd
he
hang
tried-
out there all night after the workout. We go lean against my truck. Lou even said, he's like, I miss going up to the truck.
Yeah,
and
those
talking.
homosexuals would try to come up and talk to us.
That World Gym that we were members at made the World Gym where we filmed all the Delray Misfit episodes look like a church.
Yeah, big time.
People don't
I
realize
remember
how
Teresa
insane that gym
Dallapina,
was.
who actually double teamed at that hotel. She was a Serena Williams lookalike. She used to come into the gym wearing, now picture Serena Williams with a black thong, and obviously the thong, the string part went right between those cheeks. See-through flesh-colored pantyhose. And that's it. She come into the gym like that in a fucking bra top.
We got her on some D-ball. I was working at
her
GNC
sex
on
drive
a
went out
high
of
plex in
control.
Congress. She'd come in on a Sunday, pull your pants down, blow me behind the counter.
I remember the first time I saw her, I'd go in those stalls and jerk off. Just seeing her on the treadmill or when she was on the standing leg curl. God, it looked like she was bottomless.
Yeah.
So I'd run in the stall to jerk off between sets. And I remember the force, and I told her this. It would hit the ceiling. And that ceiling was 12 feet high.
I remember she gave me your dirty, sweaty underwear, and I had them on my rearview mirror for a couple months driving around.
Yeah,
We gave it to the Joe Pesci. Lenny's like, smell this. He goes, that's pussy.
It was very pungent. But first time I told her, I says, Andrew, go up and tell her you like her outfit.
Yeah.
She flattered. It wasn't too long before we double teamed her. It was quite a sight. I was
sure.
400. Andrew was 300.
Jeez,
she was almost
poor girl.
200 pounds thick. And she was the aggressor.
Yeah,
She was a freak
yeah.
to begin with.
She loved white men.
I remember she's riding Andrew and fingering my asshole at the same time. We were all drenched in sweat, doing every position, and she was getting me pissed because she was gravitating more towards Andrew.
I remember when I had her in the car, he was pissed on me. He called her. He just happened to call her when I was riding with her to the hotel. He's like, who are you with? So I went and picked him up. We all went there.
But like true training partners, we shared pussy.
That's great.
Brad, we shared our pussy.
Well, I'm not sharing
Brad,
mine. You're a sick
how do you know it won't improve the relationship, Brad?
Yeah, I know for a fact it won't.
I think it put
You sick fuck. I
think
won't
it
let you
put a
go anywhere
smile on her
near her.
face. I know she doesn't want that, Brad.
After what you just did to that fucking stripper, man.
I'm doing what you don't do, Brad.
You're gonna have a breakout in a few days all over your mouth and tongue.
I hope I do, because I enjoyed every second
And
of
right
it.
now, there's a tapeworm growing inside your stomach that's going to end up being 10 feet long.
Well, there's going to be 3 of them before this weekend's 4 days off is over, because I'm getting out of my
A
system.
Cuban tapeworm.
That is fucking hilarious, though. He called and was jealous, and you went and picked him up to
Yeah.
share. That's fucking great.
yeah, he was pissed that she was like...
That Diana ball made her into a beast. And then afterwards, she's like, these little surfers. She goes, I'm going to get fucked by a young guy.
Yeah.
So this kid we knew at the gym, he was a little like skateboarder, like Brad used to be back in the day, but he was in Delray. And there's 10 of his friends on the street, and she picked a couple of them up, or picked the one up with her legs spread in the back. I don't know. I think I was driving her car, and this kid's fucking her right in the back seat of her car. And then all her friends, she goes, I want to fuck all your friends. So like,
Jesus Christ.
where can we go? She says, can we go to? Because she says, can we go to Andrew's house? I said, yeah. His parents gonna like him bringing 10 kids over underage and fucking a 40-year-old Jamaican
Gangbanging
woman on
Kaplan.
Diana. Yeah.
Remember, he was going to be bigger and better than me, I remember. Where is he now?
Yeah. She said, this kid's dick is bigger than mine. I think she's trying to do it to motivate me.
I remember Lenny calling me, looking at the backseat of this kid. She's blowing him. He's like, look at that. Looks like a teacup.
Yeah.
Remember that?
She was-
picked him up. Oh,
she
was
was
off the
something
wall,
else.
that lady.
She was something
Her
else.
sex drive was just like voracious.
She was so flirty and public, too. I mean, grabbing dicks in public was great.
Then one day she stopped playing ball with me. I picked her up and she was like trying to screw me around. It's like,
She got off the D-ball.
yeah, I was like, we're going to a
And
hotel.
she was still
we're
a
going
freak.
home.
I remember one time she picked me up, took me to her house. She had a kid's room and a big pole on it. It was a converted garage. And she handcuffed me to the pole, and I was naked.
Oh, boy.
Then she took one of her dildos and started beating me all over my body. And I actually liked it.
I'm sure
And
you did.
then she basically sodomized me with it. Called up some of her friends on the phone. And it's 20, 30 minutes. They're a bunch of Jamaican women. Well, I'm sitting there naked with my hand, and I fucking liked it. My dick was hard as a rock. While their friends, they came over and they all sat on the couch and watched. Did different things like that. It's fucking, I loved it.
Who was that little black crackhead that was in your yard at one time?
Yeah, I picked her up off of the street, and
I'd go to his house to pick him up. It was like
it's like 80 pounds.
where you're living now is like not the one before that, but before that by what was the girl that liked me? She was ugly as sin. What the hell was her name?
Sue Dinger?
Yeah. Pull up
She may be
together.
listening.
Naming names, boy.
I walked through the fence. There's this little black crack horse like laid out in the grass. I'm like,
Oh, Jesus.
And this Sue Dinger was
She was
flashing
dead.
me and
Dead hooker in his yard.
wanted Andrew so bad, but she was pissed because we gave him this crack all the time of day, and the landlord should
Oh,
get
yeah.
the hell out of there. But the bad thing was, I gave her a turkey sandwich one morning. She came over, and that Teresa happened to just break into the house. That Teresa would come into my house, coming through the window while I was sleeping.
I mean, where you still live now.
Yeah,
Okay.
and she'd sit on my face and wake me up or whatever, or jerk me off before work, and she'd leave. She's very bizarre. One time,
She broke into your house, jerk you off, and leave.
she'd sit on my face, wake me up with a face sit, jerk me off or whatever, and then leave. One time she came over after work.
It's a great relationship, if you ask me.
I sat in the recliner. She pulled up a chair and said, let me see you jerk off. So I'm jerking off. And she's sitting right in front of me, putting her just staring at it like this.
Oh my God.
Didn't even blink. And then at like 5 minutes later, I busted a knot all over my stomach. And she says, damn. And she got up, walked away, opened the door and left. Very bizarre, but she actually came in when this crack whore was sitting there eating a turkey sandwich. She didn't say a word. She opened my refrigerator, grabbed a carton of eggs and started throwing. And it was like my refrigerator was sort of broken, so where it was like half frozen, throwing these fucking eggs at me. And they were like rocks, hit me in the face, and threw them all over the fucking house. She didn't say a word and slammed the door. And the cracker was like terrified.
Oh my God.
But luckily she left.
What the?
And that sort of put the damper on her. And I don't know, maybe me and Andrew will go see her.
She's still living there?
She still is. I just haven't seen her. But a lot of times when she'd walk around in that pantyhose outfit, she had the perfect
How do you know
response.
she still lives there if you haven't seen
She
her?
does. She still lives there.
It's in your neighborhood?
No, it's in that Rainbow Homes, you know, where the
On Lake Worth?
Rainberry or
Rainbow, Delray.
Rainberry, right?
Rainbow. It's off of Congress and Lake Ida. Rainberry.
Oh,
No. Rainbow Homes,
I
it's
know,
called.
yeah,
Rainbow
yeah,
Homes.
Yeah, I know right where that is.
Yeah.
That's on the south side of Lake Ida.
Yeah, and I'll
Between
never forget.
Congress and-
She's a really cool,
and Barwood.
really cool girl too. Really nuts.
Jesus Christ.
And I said, "Aren't you afraid of being sexually, people coming after you?" She gets and be raped. She goes, "How do you know I don't want to be raped?" Good response.
Oh, yeah, it's a great response.
Very honest. How do you know I don't
Sick
want to be
bitch.
raped?
All right, Lenny, this is on Instagram. Ronnie Bull 83 says, homeless guy outside of a 7-Eleven asked me for $1. I did the Lenny and said, I was just about to ask you for $1. Homeless guy said, I got you, and proceeded to give me $1. Doesn't work, Lenny. That's what the guy said.
It worked for you. You just made $1. It's a perfect response. They got more money than us. Trust me. They don't pay taxes. You guys got money out the ass. Don't give me that shit.
Andrew, what is your preferred cycle?
For what? For size? For cutting?
Doesn't say. Probably, I'd say size.
Do both.
Test and trend. I always like the results from the trend. Round, hard look. Orals.
Anadrol worked good for you.
Anadrol worked, but it killed my appetite. Too many flu-like symptoms, and I got the calories in, but you really had to force feed, and you just feel awful. But yeah, Anadrol worked well. Dianabol. But I always like trend, to be honest.
Who doesn't?
Yeah,
Except when the side effects get severe.
God, I'll never forget. I was working at United States of Fitness on, I don't remember where, Congress in Boynton Beach. Working a night shift. I was on so much gear, pissing blood. Durante came in.
Durante. Who's Durante? Is that the John Durante?
John Durante came in there. He's getting ready for a show.
The Filipino. What did Jason call him? The
Vietnamese.
The Vietnamese guy. The guy was a Filipino.
Before I even
the
knew...
Vietnamidese guy.
I don't even know if YouTube was around in 05 and 06. Jason was at LA Fitness with his mother was a trainer there, and I worked there. I was under the stairs eating. He came running up to me. I pulled out the old Motorola Razr flip phone and started recording him. He starts talking crap about Durante. Vietnamese, you're scared of me. I'm going to do a show and beat your butt. And I sent it to Sean. Ask him. Sean and Rob and all these guys are like, is that Jason? I'm like, yeah, this is hilarious. He's under the stairs. Then he'd run around the locker room naked. Ugh.
Ask Collura about Big Victor. Lenny said Collura didn't like Victor's bench. You ever watch Big Victor in our older videos?
Yeah.
Swedish guy?
Him. Yeah.
You didn't like the way he benched? He always close grip.
Close grip, yeah.
I mean, it's somewhat impressive, but for his long arms, I'll give him credit, but
he wasn't going all the way up.
Competition where...
He had huge fucking arms.
Yeah.
He's a big
for his long arms, but... it's what you do with a pause with, powerlifting regulations. I mean, still good. I don't see anybody doing it to this day, but, there's a lot bigger benchers out there. As a matter of fact, somebody showed me, although the guy was equipped to the hilt and wearing one of them shirts, but 1,100 pounds just to handle that weight, even though he's wearing a triple ply shirt, but I forgot his name, a white dude. He did a couple reps, but wearing one of them shirts. But to hold that kind of weight, 1,100 pounds.
Jeez. What is the record?
A little over 700 raw. I don't know what it is equipped.
And you were that damn close. You were at a hair's breadth away.
People ask me, did you use bands and chains? The only bands and chains I knew of were the ones Lenny was getting tortured at the dungeon by. Those only bands and chains I was aware of.
Rubber bands are on my dick to keep
Remember
it
that
hard.
place?
Yeah. While she put insulin needles on my erect penis.
What the fuck?
She took a rubber band and tied it around my dick.
Who?
That dominatrix that Jamaica
Olympic
went
Heights.
out. Olympic Heights High School.
I remember I was
He was
working
telling me about it on the ride to the gym.
She's actually got a slave that willed millions of dollars to her. He lives in her house as a slave, and she retired from the domination business. Imagine that.
No, she did what?
She retired because I told her, can I make another session? Because I see her quite regularly. She's very, 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 very dirty. I mean, she could fart on command, literally. She'd sit on your face and fart.
That girl farted on you today?
No.
Did you ask her to?
I asked her to shit, but she couldn't.
I remember Jim Stewart when I was working at Planet Nutrition.
Yeah.
He'd come in and start telling Michael Motel about it. He hangs out with Big Lenny. The guy's crazy. He goes to this place called the Dungeon. He goes, stick insulin needles in his cock.
Yeah, she tied my arms up, took a rubber band, put it around got my dick hard, took a rubber band around so it would stay hard, and then she took about 10 insulin needles and put them in to where they're sticking out of it, all different areas. Then she'd flick them.
So it's like dick acupuncture.
Yeah.
Let's see James Harrison do that.
Genital acupuncture.
Yeah, I remember him telling me. It was like right after we started training together. It was like,
It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, she fucked me in the ass.
I thought you were a virgin, he asked.
Well, with dildos.
What do you mean with dildos?
Not the real thing.
Dildos are bigger than the fucking real thing most of the time.
Maybe it's the mental angle. I'm glad I didn't. But Lucy, if you can be the first to penetrate me, to bust my cherry, so to speak. Lucy gets the invitation with her 10-inch.
Disgusting fuck.
Brad, you
So anyway,
you need to get sodomized by a woman.
No, I don't. I never have and never will.
So you get it on a daily basis at the post office when you need to do it the behind-the-scenes kind that I prefer. You know,
What the fuck are you talking about?
women shouldn't be telling you what to do in a business sense or a decision-making sense, but that's what you do, all the behind-the-scenes, secret, kinky, fun stuff. You can do that. You get that out of your system.
All right.
You got fat black women probably pushing you around on the job because
Not
they're
me, buddy.
superior. Probably saying, hurry up, white boy. Deliver those sacks of mail, you sack of shit. You have to say, yes, ma'am, I'm sorry.
I was about to ask you a question. We were talking earlier at Busybody, and you were blaming yourself for giving Andrew a poor liftoff on his... What was he trying to bench in that competition that's on
The
YouTube?
650, the first attempt.
No, but the second one where he failed.
675. He would have done it if I didn't fuck
You
him up
blame
first.
yourself for that. Do you
Oh,
agree
yeah.
with him, Andrew?
no, it was
Well,
somebody on
you're
the
going to
side.
burn yourself out. I don't care if you're doing 1 reps or not.
It was actually
You
6.
burn yourself out.
Yeah.
I was
Well, what did you do wrong? What was wrong with the lift?
I was supposed to do the lift off and move out of the way because you got a judge behind me, and with my 450-pound body, he couldn't see shit. Mm-hmm. Actually, if I was small, I wouldn't have to get out of the way. The judge could see the lift, but since I'm so big, I blocked his view, so they didn't count that.
I was
And I remember the judge smacked me on my ass, and it's like, I didn't do a thing. I didn't register with me, so I felt really bad about it. But I think on his 670 attempt, he could have done it because he burnt out. He did a clean lift, and they didn't even count it, so he did the clean lift again. With 650, I mean, the more attempts you do, the more you're going to get weak. I don't care what anybody says or how easy it went up. I think that fucked him up.
And that's the most you ever did was a 650.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most hardly
I
anybody in
never
the history
attempted
of
it
the world
prior to
ever
that in the
did.
gym. I didn't know what I was going to do that day.
I mean, the guy's on his tippy toes. There's no bench technique whatsoever, no specialization. He's on his fucking tiptoes, people. You don't see Scott Mendelson doing that. Scott Mendelson's raw bench was 1 inch.
not in the video. I mean, now I tried
1
it,
inch
but-
there, Scotty. You
Yeah.
big phony, you farce. You
that?
cookie cutter. Scott Mendelson, who might have had... Actually, Andrew isn't raw. According to Jay Masters, his lift is an Ironman lift. No wrist straps, no belt, nothing. I think raw includes belt, wrist straps. Andrew did it in a loose T-shirt on his tippy toes. I mean, that just doesn't...
I'm not sure how much that would add, though.
I call it the best lift in history. If you got some leg driving, you would
leg drive for sure.
You would have
and
done
arch,
over 700 pounds.
But wrist straps and a belt.
Well, it didn't matter. Your wrists were so thick and powerful.
Yeah, I never had any issues then.
But some of those
All the
guys
water
put those
retention.
wrist straps real tight and they
Yeah.
punch the weight up.
Yeah.
And that's when you were 20 or 19?
It's 23.
23.
This is like weeks before I turned 24.
23, which
Then
is about right.
we proceeded to go to Boston's on the beach. I broke the plastic chair, eat my burger that night.
You're enormous.
People were telling me to see some guy, Kieran Kidder. He was up in Daytona. He was some bench
For
expert.
what?
But yeah, I
Some
didn't.
flabby fuck.
Yeah.
Take all the credit for what the fuck's he need to see him for? You bench more than every one of his people with no specialization. Fuck him. I'm glad you didn't. Glad you didn't put the bench shirt on either because you would have been like the rest of those nobodies.
Yeah. I was too big and hairy to put that on here in the middle of summer. Put a friggin' bench shirt on.
Yeah.
It looks stupid.
Have you lifted with a bench shirt?
Never.
They got the slings. They got all this. What's the point? You saw the guys in the video. They were so overpowered with that weight. The skinheads that were there. It's like you look like an idiot.
Pure white trash.
The hell's the point?
Pure white trash.
That's
I
why I
mean-
respect deadlift and squat because Although squat, some of the stuff can aid you.
That Ronnie Coleman super suit belt, knee wraps, that adds about 200 pounds.
You see what he looks like now? He's all fucked up.
Yeah, he's a cookie cutter.
He just had major back surgery, right?
Yeah.
Hips, back.
So you're almost lucky you stopped when you did shit like that. Now.
Yeah, I mean, if I would have tried to drive here, to be honest, the hips and knees, after a couple hours, like on that plane ride, they were even acting up.
So you couldn't be a trucker like Big J.
No.
I don't know how he does it.
Thankfully, people do that because we need them, but
I think he's got a high pain
you're just
tolerance.
asking for blood clots and, I mean, hemorrhoids and everything else. Your back stiffens up.
Yeah, my back stiffens up after about 45
You're lucky
minutes.
you got a job where you're on your feet. Lenny, too. Me, too. I stand all day because we weren't designed to sit down on the job. It's so unnatural. Sit in front of a computer, you're slouched over. So many people have that.
You refer-
They have terrible posture.
You're referring to Rocco Lizzo, the famous John Lizzo?
Remember that?
The IT guy in my job it's called tech neck.
Yeah.
Where when the neck
Or text, they call it text neck, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are always looking in their
That
fucking
looks
phone.
horrible. Looks ridiculous. Actually, somebody has that too. I don't want to mention his name, but I noticed he has it.
Who said religion was opiate of the masses? Karl Marx. But I disagree. Nowadays, it's entertainment, TV, computers. People are glued to it.
Oh, yeah. They're glued to their phones.
Yeah. It's like Robbie Lopez and Kamali were talking about on the Palumbo interview I was watching, how they used to go party in New York at the Sound Factory. They're like, nobody does that anymore. Everybody's on Instagram and this and that.
Living vicariously through other people.
Right.
Like Facebook. That's why I'm not a proponent of it. People see the smiling, the vacations. They don't know what goes on. It's all
Correct.
put on.
Yep.
People are going through stuff behind the scenes.
Exactly. They only post
People
good
get,
shit, right?
The unfortunate thing is a lot of kids like Cruz, they see that, they get depressed, they think they're missing out. Then they go off the deep end.
They call that FOMO. That's the acronym. Fear
Really?
of missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw right through that shit. I said, you got to, I mean, this isn't
The
reality.
people who feel the need to post all those kind of images on a daily basis are probably the most miserable people.
They are.
They just
Oh,
want
yeah.
everyone else to think that they're living this glamorous life.
Right. And they want to see the
It's
legs.
all about how you portray yourself, not what you're actually living.
And I think you guys talked
That's how
about it in the
social media-
podcast. Kind of different, but it just reminded me of it. It's doing the Ancestry.com, spitting and sending it to somebody. Well, with the Facebook, you're saying, oh, so-and-so, I'm going to Hawaii in 3 days.
Yeah, come
so
rob my house.
Come rob my house. You're better off putting that. People are, God, they're just brain dead.
Yeah. It's stupid. They need the gratification from the online bullshit. Most of the Facebook shit is fucking
It
phony.
is,
Especially
yeah.
when you know the people on there and you know what their life is really
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
All the shit that goes on. And then you
yeah.
look at Facebook, oh, everything.
It's funny when you have a friend who you know is trapped in an absolutely
And
miserable
miserable,
marriage.
Yeah.
Like the most god-awful marriage you can imagine, but I love my wife so much. Today is her birthday.
Yeah.
I'm the luckiest man alive. Hey, 2 nights ago, I was on the phone with you, and you were telling me how much you hate your fucking life.
Exactly.
I won't mention any names.
Right.
To quote Lenny.
I'll mention names.
Of course.
Christina's birthday was yesterday, and I have the most outstanding life simply from looking at her, watching her show.
Are you sure it
Watching
was
her
her birthday?
videos. Yes. Because I made the mistake years ago with the June. That's the incorrect birthday. It's March 9th.
And how do you
I
know?
remember that.
And then the year is 1989, not 1985.
Well, they said it was June 8th, 1989.
I made that mistake years ago, remember?
Yes,
It's
I
March.
do.
How did you find out it was March?
Because I looked at the various birthday wishes she got on Team Christina Broccolini
And that's
Facebook.
a legit Facebook site.
That's
for
the
her.
official page of the goddess, who I intend to meet very soon.
Could you imagine her sitting here for a podcast?
I couldn't keep my eyes off her. I'd be mesmerized. She can't be human. She really can't. She's just, it's just amazing.
I hope she gets to see that song you sang for her at the gym today.
I hope she likes it, because there's more coming.
Actually, in reality, no other man will ever do that for her in her life. Between
No
the
other man
birthday-
will-
The happy birthday you sang on my Instagram yesterday.
She
and
could
that,
have me do whatever
no other
she
no
wants.
man will ever do that for her.
Whatever she wants, I'll do it for her.
Remember the Puerto Rican girl I was infatuated with, Janie?
Yes,
She
and
was
her
at the Old
sister.
World Gym. They were sisters. They were strippers up in West Palm on, is it Tees Lounge or one of them? Anyway, there were dancers there. 2 Puerto Ricans. She had
I thought they were trannies at first.
I thought they were too. But anyway, we just happened to be leaving at the same time. The one I liked, Lenny's like, follow her. So I followed her. The girl got so scared she stopped coming to the gym. Then I went looking for her at the strip club, and her sister was there. She's like, oh my God, you scared my sister. She quit here. She won't go to the gym anymore because you followed her.
Oh my God! How far did you follow her? Just to her
Pretty
car?
far. I mean, I don't know if she turned
I
into
do like
You,
your...
you mean you're driving?
I do
Driving
like
after,
your
yeah.
introductory comment to her. It took a lot of balls, and you did it. You came up to her when she was on the treadmill and says, hey, I want you to sit on my face so bad. And this bum in there from Philly named Frank, some ex-drug addict who looked like Jerry Lawler, said, "Hey, Andrew, don't you have any couth?" But I thought it was appropriate.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
And she's a stripper that's afraid of somebody getting in a car and following her. Wow.
Anything Lenny told me to do back then. Take your shirt off, Andrew. I did. I was all hairy.
And it worked. You accepted the challenge.
I said, "That's for you, Brian.
Yeah.
What do you think of this physique?"
Guy from New York, black belt, decent sized guy, 6 foot, 260. We do our sets and scream at him.
Yeah.
He was terrified.
Big dude, too. One night we were out in the parking lot talking about his girl.
She had a fat ass.
She's sitting in the car. All of a sudden, this door opens. She comes walking out with a smile on her face.
She's laying, sitting back, and she was under the impression that we couldn't see her. And I winked at Andrew, and I said, she can hear everything we say. So I'd say, "Boy, that Brian's girl, I'd like to eat her fat ass." Said, my mouth would be her toilet, to the usual 9 yards, knowing that she heard it. And that reminds me, I remember saying the thing to Mark Alvisi's ex-girlfriend. What's her name? Jason knows her.
She wore the steel.
What was her name?
First name
Lauren
Perlman.
Yeah.
Lauren Perlman.
He can't help himself.
I remember her doing a set or two, and I thought she had headphones on. I said, "I would love my mouth to be her toilet." And she turned around and laughed at me. I bet you Mark never said anything about that. Who actually had the balls to come into World Gym and tell me, "Don't quit saying things about Mel Chauncey. That's not right." Actually had the balls to come and tell me. In the meantime, from what I hear,
When was that?
when Andrew was bouncing downtown Delray, Mark would come in with his girlfriend / whore. And when Mark was in the club, whatever, doing his thing, his girlfriend told Andrew, my boyfriend / pussy whip is so intimidated by you. Didn't he say it? Did you say that? That's embarrassing.
She's a big.
What do you think about that, Mark? Come on the podcast.
He still goes to LA Fitness and
Yeah, so you can come on the
How's he
podcast.
look?
He looks like a fat, gray, washed up
You know
guinea.
He's still pretty
Is he?
big. Yeah,
Yeah.
He wears baggy clothes.
Yeah.
But you could tell
To
he's
hide
still,
his baggy body.
Yeah, you could
What
tell,
happened to
you
him
could
when-
tell he's in good. He's pretty
Yeah.
big.
One minute he was on top of the world with Gaspari, and then
He became a cookie cutter, started hanging around downtown Delray and enjoying the party scene.
Do you remember the guy from the old World Gym with the bear claw marks
Yes.
on his back?
yes,
That guy once got into a huge fight with Big Richard over over a Smith machine. They were screaming at each other.
Brandon Wolf is his name.
yeah, Bear Claw, yeah.
Doesn't he the
Yeah.
offensive tackle for Denver?
No, he was a short
This kid was
guy
like
with blonde
5'5".
hair.
From
No,
Chicago.
there was a kid. Wolf,
Yeah,
the
he
last
used to-
name Wolf. He's not a. He's a white kid.
He's a defensive lineman, yeah.
He used to date the girl that worked at the fucking World Gym. She worked at the front.
You're
for a while.
kidding.
Yeah, big, solid girl.
What girl at the
I
front?
forget what the fuck her name was.
What year?
She was like a trainer or something. This is
A tranny?
shit. Less than 10 years ago. No, she
trainer.
wasn't a trainee.
Who is it?
I forget her fucking name.
She used to date that. She was kind of young.
Yeah.
Boy, he's got real high standards.
That guy with there was a guy who used to work. Like you guys obviously both know him, Brandon. He had these huge scars on his back going diagonally down. You remember that?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And the story that I heard was that he got attacked by a bear. You remember that?
Yeah, so he said.
And he once got into a fight with Big Richard. I'd say probably 1999 or 2000, something like that, over a Smith machine. They didn't come to blows, but they were screaming face to face. I remember it like yesterday. And then he became a personal trainer.
Yeah.
He's a personal drug addict.
Yeah, I remember you ripped into him.
Yeah, he's actually, that's a
He
complicated.
thought he was like a know-it-all when it came to training and dieting.
Yeah.
When we did the 05 Southerns, I was bouncing and I was living by off Woolbright.
Know it all.
Yeah. I took my shirt off at the gas station. It was like 5 in the morning. I was like, I'm doing cardio. It's like, man, you don't need any more cardio. You look great. Because I was doing double sessions. But yeah, I don't know what his...
Well, you busted your ass on car. You're running on the overpass I-95 in the heat.
On that Clan T3, I felt awful.
You're right in the heat.
I was banging Michelle Guano, that blonde with
Yeah,
the chin.
The other one that names
No game. That's not her last name. I won't mention her
Alright.
last name,
Alright,
but
good.
he called her that because she was banging Mike Guano, that little redheaded creep from the hospital.
The red-faced creep.
She
who was
came on to
taking
me. I
2,000
didn't
minutes of
have
testing.
no game whatsoever with her. Come on, you want to come over to my place and do some GHB? Yeah. Second night, I was banging her. She's like, "You're fast." I'm like, "Well, what the hell are you doing here? What do you think I wanted from you? To hang out, and be your boyfriend? I'm getting ready for a show here."
God.
I caught no feelings whatsoever when I was getting ready because the estrogen levels were so low, so I had like no compassion.
You actually like putting people down for some reason.
Yeah.
You like insulting them, especially those old guys that bother you.
I had such tunnel vision. You too. I mean, get ready for those shows. After the first year, 04, when we were basically we had the size, but I was humiliated when they gave me that trophy. I wanted to smash it. I said, I'm going to come back shredded next year. And we did. Lenny was ready to fight every competitor there.
Was that the one he was shadowboxing? That's the one that the VHS we have here, right?
Sitting right there when you convert it.
Yeah.
04.
Oh, you have it?
04. Yeah, it's sitting right over there.
No, this is 05 when we did the next year.
That.
Yeah.
We were in much better shape.
Remember Dr. Michael Gomez or whatever his name was? You wanted to fight him? You were eyeing his wife up?
Yeah.
He said,
And
He
the
said-
MC's like, oh, come on, guys.
At
I know
a
you're on low
competitors
carb.
meeting, I just went and sat down. He's
Yeah.
like, his wife comes up. My husband's sitting there. I'm like, whatever. You know, I didn't even look. Then he comes up and looks at me. He said, that's my seat. I said, that's my seat. And then she's like, for God's sake, he's my husband. You let him sit down. I said, that's a sorry excuse for a husband I've ever seen. I said, is he going to make me sit down right in front of the kids? Don't tell me that's your seat, you fucking spick.
"Oh, Leonard."
But on a side note, that's how you know you're ready for a show. Because that show in 06, when I was at my leanest, I felt awful. Jim
You
Stewart,
were shredded.
I was ready to knock his teeth out. He was bugging me, sitting next to me. I was like in no mood.
He was jealous, a piece of shit. Coward. You were so fucking ripped, it wasn't even funny. Your back was...
When I'd shave
Almost
my
like-
head, chunks of skin were coming off. I was so lean, plus tanning and everything. My skin was like, I couldn't even shave my head. It was like skin was
And
coming
you
off.
lost your legs to
Yeah,
get ripped.
legs were like
If you would have
awful.
had your legs, you would have smoked those guys. Because you had so much muscle on your upper body, it didn't matter. It was still enormous.
Yeah,
That's the hint, competitors. Develop so much muscle that when you diet, even though you're going to lose muscle, you still have plenty left over. And it's doubly hard if you're taller, so you got to get really big.
Yeah. That was a competitive show, though. What did I come in 7th out of 12?
I remember when I went to the...
How much did you weigh?
220.
220.
I remember in the lobby, there was a Spanish girl with a tattoo of a snake around her neck.
Yeah.
And it was down her ankles. And I remember I was really ripped, tan. And I said, where does that tattoo begin and end? And she took one strap off one shoulder, one off the rest, and the fucking dress dropped totally naked. And the snake was tattooed all around her body, around her legs, right between her. Showed me her bush and everything was naked back there. I was like, holy shit.
Brad would have loved that.
Yeah. Who wouldn't?
Oh,
Who
yeah.
wouldn't? So it gives you some ideas for some tattoos. Don't go getting any ideas, Dale. Get a snake tattooed around your crotch.
What if Christina Broccolini were to get that?
Christina does whatever she wants. And I don't, and it's our privilege to enjoy, at least mine anyway.
I remember when we started training, I was like, I want to get more tattoos, Lenny. He goes, why don't you tattoo some muscle on your body?
So my father said
I got the one and only in 96 in
he
Harlem.
used to cover his shoulder.
Yeah.
When he got to 340, it looked like a postage stamp. It shrunk.
Back at Harley Haven in 96. I was underage, but he did it anyway. I was playing Slayer, getting the tattoo done.
I heard Brad was into Slayer too.
Harley Haven.
Yeah, Pompano.
Brad, you used to go to the...
Three brothers.
I don't
What? No, not three.
It was a Harley store, but in the back room.
West, yeah.
Yeah, the guy's name was Sketch. and
There
he
was
did it.
another guy that my first tattoo was done by a guy there named
Sicko.
Yeah.
Funhouse.
Yeah. I don't know. It was Harley Haven
Harley.
back.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's where I went.
That's
to.
where I got it.
Yeah,
But, yeah. I mean,
Brad, did you attend the death metal concerts?
yeah. I've been to a couple Ozfests.
How are they? Any good stories?
Great. Yeah, they're good.
good times.
Do you remember them?
Yes.
It's funny, the You
Day
Gotta Be a
Festival,
Freak
okay.
guy that makes the videos, You Gotta Be a Freak. Lately, he's been playing Cannibal Corpse. I've seen them many times.
Yeah.
Chris Barnes. I tried pulling him in the crowd in this little club down in Hollywood. I drank a 12-pack, 18 years old. He was reaching out. I grabbed him, and he pulled his arm away. He was in Ace Ventura. There was a scene with him singing with Jim Carrey.
Oh no shit.
Saw Judas Priest live. He asked me if I took Prozac. Do you take Prozac?
Why did he say
I
that?
don't know, because I was going nuts in the mosh pit.
Oh my God, I didn't hear this story.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the place down in Hollywood. A little shitty little bar. He was there. It was in the band called Fight. Front and center with Judas Priest, that creep.
The Howie Long dick sucker. What do you think about that, Chris? He said it. Rob Halpern said it. Who's your ideal man without hesitation? Howie Long. That says it all.
Remember that night we worked the Slayer and Hatebreed concert?
Yes.
With Ball
I've
Mike?
never been there. My eardrums are being blown out of my head.
You didn't have earplugs in?
No.
Yeah,
Where did you guys? Were you by the?
We were just roaming around or whatever, and
by the mosh pit the whole night. I was like,
what venue? Where?
It's it was by Aphrodite's.
Yes,
Ovation,
and that one
in Boynton Beach.
Yes.
Federal.
All right.
I don't know what it's. Yeah, so
I remember that punk went flying into you by accident. You took no mercy on him, threw him across the room. 30 minutes, I mean, everyone's pretty much steered clear of you at that point. 30 minutes later, here he comes again, pushed into you, and he's like, no, I didn't mean to. And you picked him up and gave him one of those push-offs, and he went flying across the room like a dummy. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Great, I got paid, I took my shirt off, and I was in the
He
mosh
knocked
pit all
people
night.
down like bowling balls with this guy flying through the air. I never saw anything like that.
Remember Bob Mike looked like he was getting aroused with all those kids?
Yes, there was
bumping
an
into him?
older guy from New York, Italian guy, that got on some juice, and he drug addict too. He's enjoyed getting pushed around. He's strong too. He's bench 400-pound bencher, ex-con biker, getting young guys smacking into him. He's getting this look on his face like he's getting turned on, like he enjoyed getting smacked around like that. Didn't even faze him. Well, if there was some girls involved.
Remember that night we went to Ugly Mug when we were on GHB and you went in the women's room?
The Mug.
His girlfriend's in there. She hands Lenny a bag of Coke. Just
Try to get me off because I was talking dirty to her. She called him on the phone. She goes, guess who's here, Lenny? I said, yeah, I'm going to fuck your wife in her ass.
Did you drive by the Ugly Mug? It's now a dental clinic.
It is? Not open anymore? Oh, God. I worked there briefly.
It closed about 3 years ago. For those who don't know, the Ugly Mug was the only local bar in this whole area that was open till 5 in the morning. It's 2 minutes from my house. And if you were at the Ugly Mug at like 1:30 or 2 in the morning, you knew you were going to wake up the next day just in a world of fucking hurt. You knew you were going to be hungover, have a black eye or something, or wake up with herpes. And it closed about, I'd say, 3 years ago. It shut down. God. Yeah, that place was.
Well, we went in there fucked up on G, and all of a sudden I decided to take a dump.
Coke spot.
So I go right in the woman's room. Andrew follows me. He's sitting right on the sink. I go in a stall, pull my pants down. There's girls in there. I leave the stall door open, take a nasty, loud, massive dump, reminiscent of the kind that I took in your place on Stan.
Yes.
And those bouncers didn't even have the balls to do a thing. And I was like 400 pounds. So I sat there. I didn't flush. I'm just sitting there naked with my dick hanging out. Girls are walking in, looking at me or whatever. Like, what the fuck is that?
I remember this girl, a white girl. It was her birthday. She's in high heels. Married. The husband, the cuck, wasn't there. Lenny had her walk on him.
We went outside.
He
I
starts
said,
getting a hard on. She's like, close your legs, man. He's like, oh. Then the next day he calls me. He's like, oh, my chest and stomach. I got
I laid in the parking lot floor and had her jump up and down and walk on me in her stiletto heels.
Fuck.
For some,
She loved it.
I liked it too. I was getting a hard on. She's like, close your legs.
I'll never forget that.
The Ugly Mug was a place where all of the freaks and weirdos and fucks
Cookie cutters
who live in Delray Beach would gather after 1:30 in the morning. Once they were already
Once all
plastered.
the other bars are closed.
Once they just wanted to keep getting fucked
Hideous
up.
looking broads there. Oh,
It's a
man.
rough place. Shit.
Yeah, I remember I came in there one night, I think it was to apply for a job, although they would never hire me, because I guess I remember it from the past.
As a matter of fact, I was friends with a bartender there named John. I don't know if you remember him. He always used to wear knee-high socks.
Yeah, that fat
Yes.
slob
Yes.
with type 2 diabetes.
Yes. He always had the diabetic
Moron.
Right.
Tell me the Pittsburgh Steelers have a 400-pound tight end.
And I ran into him years ago at the old Chinese buffet that shut down.
Oh, yeah.
And he said to me, your friend Lenny keeps coming in applying for a bouncer job, but we won't hire him. And
Well,
he was a dick.
They had a bouncer in there, typical young guy, 6'5", 300, juiced up, tattoos or whatever.
That's typical.
And he's like,
300
he's walking around real tough one night, and I come in all fucked up on Phenibutts. And I forgot I said something about, you hire? And he looked at me like I was a piece of garbage. He said, no, or whatever. And he said something like, oh, you're going to buy or whatever, you're going to leave. I said, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. So he come up in my face, and I'm thinking, look at this fucking clown. Because like it was his finger. I grabbed his hand, squeezed it. I said, you ever put your booger picking appendage in my face again, I'm going to break it off and beat you over the fucking head with. I said, your tattoos don't mean jack shit to me. And I made sure everyone in the bar heard I was saying. He cowered back to that place, that bar still so fast, and put his fucking head down. Like the cookie cutter coward. And I normally wouldn't have done that, but I was so fucked up on Phenibut, it just proved the point that those type of fucks aren't worth a shit. He was big, young, strong, juiced up, probably 400 or 500 pound bench. Back down, totally. cookie cutter.
There used to be a...
You got it or you don't.
You grew up down here? I don't know if you remember West Palm. There was a club called Moscow. It was like a metal club. Moscow's closed years ago, but
we used to always go down to the Edge. It was called.
Yeah, I used to go to the Edge of Chili Pepper. Yeah, I've been to concerts there. That was a good spot too. But Moscow's the guys I bought my first stack off of in high school. They had big juice head bouncers because it was a metal club. They beat the hell out of people in there. But a big Guatemalan guy and a Venezuelan sold me a big 50cc bottle like Anabol Equipoise. I took that and some Winstrol. I remember the dude's like, man, you better hide this from your mom. She'll think it's heroin. With the white ampules. Yeah. Took that at 17. I grew like a weed. But they all worked out at Moscow. It was like a metal club. Big, juiced up guys. Big, massive guys. One Puerto Rican, one Guatemalan, and the guy I knew was Italian. He was juiced up.
Are there any metal clubs still around?
No. It's gone.
What is it, all rap clubs? Figures.
The Chili Pepper, the Edge was a good spot.
It was.
We'd go down there. As soon as I graduated high school, I went down there, go out there all hours. Yeah, I remember that.
Right off Broward Boulevard.
Yep.
You probably been.
I know a tranny off Broward Boulevard. I used to go regularly. He's actually on there now.
Of course.
The one with the pink dress on Fort Lauderdale. Backpage transgender. She was a freak. She was the intermittent pisser. She'd piss on me every 5 minutes, let out a stream of piss to cool me off because I was sweating. It was great.
And piss hot.
That's what I was about to say.
What are you talking about?
Well, that's the one where we had the...
Why not just give you a glass of ice water? How about that?
No fun.
That's the one we had
piss on me.
her cousins
piss on me.
and her sister, whatever, the 15-year-old is the audience. That's the one. Right off Broward Boulevard.
Beautiful. That's the one that you're getting killed about. That's why they all think...
I'm getting killed. They're getting killed because they don't got the balls to do it and admit to doing it. Those cookie cutters aren't my moralist.
Is Deluxe still open on Atlantic? The Club Deluxe?
It's called Honey now.
They changed the name to Honey. Same shithole.
Yeah, I worked there. I remember porn star Mary Carey came in one night. I was bouncing. She starts dancing on the table, which wasn't allowed. So I went up to her and said, you need to get down. She goes, you don't understand. I'm porn star Mary Carey. I said, I don't give a shit who you are. Get down from there now. She got down.
I'm porn star Mary Carey.
Didn't you go there recently and it was all like everyone over the age of 55?
She ran for politics.
Yeah.
Fucking...
Never any problems there when I worked there, though.
But then the downtown Delray crowd is pretty tame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boring. In other words, cookie cutter.
Exactly.
They still wearing the bleach blonde jeans and the dress shirts and those pointy leather shoes.
I remember going to the bruise room right before I moved up. Lenny's like, look at this cookie cutter right in his face. He's like, the hat, the shirt,
the affliction shirt.
The shoes.
They're watching MMA.
Now they wear jogger pants.
Yeah.
They're like tight all the way, like tapered down. I don't understand style, you know.
I saw Adam Sandler on the Ave once, Scottie Pippen walking around.
Sandler, I think, has a place by the Boca Hotel.
Really?
Yeah, because my buddy worked at the Valet over there, and he used to come in.
His grandparents live where I work.
Oh, okay.
I speak to his grandfather all the time.
No shit.
Yeah.
Everybody that's come in contact with says he's a real nice guy, though.
Sandler?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just saw him walking around.
Yeah, he's just like us. Same type of humor. Same age.
Like,
Same age. He'd fit in perfectly. Same age. Yeah. Probably rip on Dale Chance.
Yeah, sure.
Talk about rimming strippers.
I enjoyed it. I want more.
I'm sure you do.
Nothing like...
Why don't you guys go back when we're done with the podcast?
I'm going to go back and pick up a fucking rim somebody I can grab a hold and give a fucking rusty trombone to, if you get my drift.
Yeah, we get your drift, unfortunately.
Nothing like sticking your face in a nice, thick, black, soft ass. One of the great joys of life.
A guy I know in Carolina, he's a Marine veteran, did a couple tours of duties, and he was in Afghanistan and Iraq. I think Philippines or Thailand they were stationed, and one of the Marines got drunk one night, banged what he thought was a female, turned out to be a lady boy. He ended up killing her. He said he's stuck there. He is not coming back. They will not release him.
That's real smart there.
Shit.
Yep. Very common.
You have a guilty conscience, Mr. Cookie Cutter Murderer? Go kill yourself if it bothers you that much. What the fuck?
I had a guy I worked with that was in Vietnam. He retired years ago, but he was saying when he was over there, he got blown. He didn't know it was a tranny. It was a tranny. He says the best blowjob he ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they're not
Sure it is,
disagreeing.
What the living fuck? Yeah, I don't like those gore videos in Spain and Barcelona. They're beating up this ugly tranny right in the street. Bunch of young punks. It's horrible.
He said they got some weird shit in those countries. I think the Philippines is like a nude midget bar with little midget females, and they serve food. He's like everybody, you got to check it out if you're there. He's
How
like,
could you fuck them without laughing? I mean,
To me,
hysterical.
That borders on pedophilia.
Yeah, that's...
Because some of them are so small.
I don't think I could even get hard for a fucking midget.
Speaking of that, this is what I wanted to reveal, but I didn't want to tell you over the phone.
Uh-oh.
Somehow this was recommended to me on YouTube. This guy, he's a wrestler, one of those hardcore wrestlers. He's got tattoos. He's all bloody. He does like the hardcore matches. And he starts telling a story about this punk rocker named G.G. Allen.
Yes.
G.G. Allen, yeah.
Apparently, he fucked a dead cat. You want to talk about repulsion? Yeah, he goes on to tell the story in the video. It was the night he died of a drug overdose. So then I started looking more into him. There's videos he's covered in his feces and blood, and he picked fights with people.
Yeah.
They said he liked doing that because he had hepatitis. That creep. These freaks. It was like, but the era you were growing up, those freaks.
He's one of the most disgusting human beings.
That's what people were
We've
saying.
talked about him before.
Actually, you know who introduced me to him?
Yeah.
Synthol Mark.
Really?
Yes, he was a punk rocker.
Yeah.
He'd eat shit.
Yeah.
He fucked a dead cat.
Yup, picked it up. I think the guy apparently was the night he died. He had a drug overdose.
I like his fights to run out in the audience and punch at people.
One guy had a suit on. Oh man, I was watching the video.
He is sick beyond belief. He was.
Jesus Christ. Fuck.
He was on like Jerry Springer and there's all these clips I haven't watched.
Oh, he's a real character.
Yeah. People were saying,
how long ago did he die?
I don't know. I think I should ask Dave Palumbo if he was a G.G. Allen
people were
fan.
going to his grave because he would want it. They were putting drugs. And
He'd want people to shit on his grave and piss on it.
There's a picture of
He'd
him
be covered in blood.
laying in his casket, and I think he's just wearing underwear.
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, when he's naked, his dick's like built smaller than Dale Chance's. Who stuffs his posing trunks, by the way.
Oh, Leonard.
He's hung like a hummingbird, that G.G. Allen. And some of his songs are bizarre. You got to see him online.
Who does that? Picks
Whose
up a
songs?
dead
Dale
cat.
Chance's or G.G.?
God, what's wrong with you to do something like that? I mean,
Well, I know somebody. I suspect somebody that does do that, but I'm not going to name any names, Mr. Cat Abandoner.
Oh, Leonard, don't even. That's fucking.
Is that true? What he's abandoning cats out in the wild?
Yes, and they're coming to South Carolina, and then one told you, yes, telepathically that all he remembers is some guy walking around in a garage playing Game of Thrones with one testicle. So who is that? You know?
You told Lenny you could talk to cats? Oh.
Yeah, and they're telling him that that's
They
what
do respond to me though.
they're seeing this guy with a beard dropping them off at all locations.
When they hear my keys, they do. They know the sound of the keys. They're smart, man. They got the intellect of a little kid. You saw Kimbo when I was calling him. He's like perked up.
We haven't seen him since. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'd like to see one
He
of
came
those.
in and
somewhere.
fucking darted to the room.
He's intrigued.
Like to see one of those cats come back and rip his other
Normally
testicle
he
out.
would've come out
Let's
by
see your
now.
skills. See if you can get him out here.
Where do you think he is? Where's his spot?
That's literally and figuratively a cat call.
You got 2 boxes for him?
Well, I used to have 2.
You got 2 cats?
He's got 2 and he still shits on the floor.
He does?
I'd say
He's a senile
he
bastard.
shits on the floor like 30% of the time.
How old is he?
14.
No, that's probably why.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's losing his fucking...
Also, he's very fastidious. As soon as the litter box starts to get remotely soiled, that's it. He's done with it.
I spoke to my
Gotta keep
mom
it-
outside of Thick and Thin. All my cats are not eating because I'm not around. They're all on like a hunger strike.
How many cats are there?
There's 4 or 5 outside that I've gotten fixed, and they hang out by me. I feed them, but my
You still have your own cat inside the house?
Yeah, that's good.
It's a free program. What's that?
You still have your own cat,
Yeah,
Bella?
She doesn't Bootsy. She don't go outside.
Bootsy?
Yeah, I
What happened to
changed her.
Bella?
I had a route where I was delivering medical supplies, and this lady was like 100 years old living out in the country. She had a bunch of cats. One looked like mine. She's like, oh, that's my favorite, my little Bootsy. She always comes out to greet me. So I changed her name.
Change the cat's name. At least you
So
didn't
you have
abandon
one
him.
inside cat, that's it.
Yeah.
And then you have 5 outside.
Yeah, there's a program. I think they have it anywhere. It's a trap neuter release program. So you bring them in, they fix them, give them rabies shot, they clip their left ear to let people know they're sterilized. No, there's so many.
That's all for free.
Yep. When I was delivering medical supplies, I go to a lot of black neighborhoods and a lot of able-bodied young men walking around, healthy as horses, smoking, hanging out in apartments. And here I am dropping off free medical supplies for them.
That's
I
disgusting.
knock on the door. Who is it? I'm like, delivery. Delivery? Put it on the floor. That's how I got talked to. It pissed me off.
I had a route in the ghetto for a while, man.
Brad,
There's somebody
who
over.
is it? The mailman. Put it on the fucking floor,
So,
cracker.
like you said, so many able-bodied adults
Yeah.
that could be working that just
All
sit there
hanging
waiting
out
for
in
the
the
check.
week. I'm like, what the
what
hell
happens if
is
you
this?
fuck up their mail?
unbelievable.
They raise hell, don't they?
What's that?
If you fuck up the mail or make a mistake, they raise hell, don't they?
You know what they're concerned about? That check.
They're junk food.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. Get up, get up, get up. It's the first of the month.
Lenny's about to have an
Is that what that song's about?
They leave the bills in the mailbox and take the check.
Nice. That's what's your
Hell,
taxpayer money's going to.
At least I throw my bills in the garbage. They leave them in the mailbox.
Yeah, they'll take the stuff that they want, leave everything else in there.
Why don't you trick them, Brad, and put one of their...
I don't have the route anymore, thank God.
Although you do, that's good.
There was always a distinct smell in these people's homes, though. The poor blacks, like some shitty neighborhoods, and the whites, too.
What's great now, at this time of year, because it's tax return, they'll all get nice cars. They're in a shithole, but they'll get a nice car, or they'll put like $3,000 rims on a shitty old.
My dad, for years, he was
Caprice.
back when there was payphones everywhere. That's what my dad did. Was he installed them, repaired them, and in Cherry Hill and East Boynton, he said they'd be hanging out at the convenience store, asking him for money, wearing gold chains and shit. He wouldn't give them anything. And when he'd remove the payphones, there'd be bags of crack in there. They'd stick them in there when they see the popo coming, hiding them. So he would just throw them out. But he's like, he hated going there. He hated going to he worked at Glades Correctional. And something that'll lead to another story is he hated going in the gay clubs, which Lenny made me infiltrate. We call it infiltrating. We went to HD.
Yes, you need to go in there and see what it's all about, but you got to come at the guise of you're not there to laugh at them. You got to act like you're going there. Then the true self will come out for educational purposes.
Of course.
And it's mortifying.
For education.
It's like the movie Cruising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The urinals are sideways.
Yeah.
There's no door, so you got to piss. Everyone sees your penis when you piss. And I reminded the story of racist Roy, the old cop from the gym who said he came into a club in New York and there's an old-fashioned bathtub and this guy's sitting in a fucking men's room of the gay club with a sign around his neck. An old man looked like Santa Claus that said, "Please piss on me."
Well, we went in the night and no doors on the stalls. And these couple fruits are like, "Where you guys from?" Lenny's like, "San Francisco." All right, I heard anything goes out there.
Just trying to blend in, you know.
And there was they had dancers, couple male dancers, all dudes in there. The only girl was smoking hot. A Spanish girl was with the one guy. They had extensions in their pants, didn't even look real. So the guy gets off the stage and goes all the way around. Me and Lenny are all around.
For the purpose of what?
Yeah, they're feeling him up. They're like, "Can I touch it?" He's like, "Yeah, go for it." Just
where he's wearing a fucking jockstrap.
Yeah.
Guys are giving him money just to touch his dick. He comes up to me, smacks me in the stomach.
He goes, "You got something for me, big man?" He starts grinning at me. I'm 340, bald. I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, if he
Andrew's the only one he glanced at and walked away.
He looked at me. He goes,
He didn't even bother. He comes up and smacks me in the gut. I was like,
he knew you were the true fruit.
You little dirty homosexual, you. You fucking. Ugh.
Then when we're leaving, these
For
two
research
guys pull up.
purposes.
They're like, "Where are you guys going?" We're like, "We're out of here." And they're like, "Oh shit, we missed out." We went over to the kitten club with those nasty women. They looked like they were pregnant. These older women.
C-sections.
Most hideous things over there.
And this old white trash told me. She
the
said to me,
club.
"What the hell did she tell me? You're so cheap. You need to get the hell out of here." Disgusting with no teeth.
You guys have been in
I
some
forget. I
dark
made a
fucking
comment.
places.
She goes, "You have no room to talk. You're the cheapest son of a bitch ever walked in this place." I'm like, get the fuck away from me.
Then when we would bounce, the places would close it too. We went to Kashmir in West Palm. It was a gay club. All these little, oh my God, these fruits walking around. He gets up on the stage, takes his shirt off, starts posing. The bouncer's like, "Please tell your friend, I don't want any problems. Get him off the stage."
Oh my God.
He was feeling up this little black, I think it was a tranny.
Yeah, it was like a halfway, yeah. We
She's
pulled
like,
our dicks
"Oh,
out and I was
it's like-"
rubbing my dick on hers. And
Oh my God.
she got all
You
excited.
fucking homos. I knew you two were fucking queers.
I didn't do that. I was.
What the fuck you going to a gay club?
There was an
for?
old man
So what do you mean to infiltrate?
took
shits and
admission.
giggles.
This guy was like 80 years old, and he came up to us and noticed, tried to talk like a tough guy, saying that, "I know why you guys are here. You just want your dick sucked."
Yeah, I remember that.
Plain and simple. You just want your dick sucked. And I'm like, no.
They had drag queen nights. No, I mean, it was just shits and giggles. We take G, place closed. We already got paid. It's like, let's go out. We do that. We walk around Riviera Beach in tank tops, all the only white dudes with impunity. Go into black
We
clubs.
did that a lot.
Yeah.
Exclusive black clubs, like rented out to West Palm. We're the only white guys in there.
Well, they knew not to
Copping
fuck 'cause they knew they were
feels.
crazy.
Copping feels left and right.
That or they thought you were cops.
I don't know. We got on the
always
G. He's
possible.
like, "Take your shirt off." I had the wife beater. It was like 290 pounds. It was after the first show, so had a lot of sides, but I was like leaned down, walking around. I was like starting to get hammered on that GHB, and they saw the looks on our faces. They're like, "Oh shit!"
Maybe we thought us for cost. We went to a biker
I'm
bar.
like twitching, like G'ing out, walking around the place. And it's like,
There's a biker bar in Lantana called Nothing Fancy. And we really didn't know at the time. We didn't care. We went up there, and all these fucking bikers are getting real paranoid. And the waitress said, they think you guys are cops. I said, I don't give a fuck what they think. You know, what are you going to do? You guys something to do? Step up to the plate. Bunch of flabby-ass bikers. I'm more intimidating on my fucking two-wheeler than you on your fucking Harley fat boy or whatever you call him. You fat cookie-cutter wimp creep. I don't think there's a biker on this earth that can kick my ass.
And Brad, who are you telling me who would say they'd be on the podcast?
JT, he said he'd come on.
Yeah.
Never heard of her.
Someone's getting thrown through this window right here if JT comes on the podcast.
Nah, he thinks you're funny. He thinks you're hilarious.
I think he's small, tiny, overrated, and a cookie cutter.
no, again,
he's a good guy.
I was told to expose JT for what he really is. He may be able to intimidate the cat abandoner, but he's not going to intimidate me. I'm not intimidated by someone from Munchkinland.
Munchkinland, you're a fucking moron.
And them calling them cookie cutters, calling them the alpha male. I call him the alpha munchkin. I don't like the initial type people. Actually, it's funny. A story about my brother. His name's Edward Joseph Person. So you can go and harass him, which I wish you would. Somebody thought it was cool to start calling him EJ. So my father heard it, and somebody referred to him. He goes, and my brother was like 3 years old. He goes, his name's Edward. Don't you ever call him that wimp name again. You understand me? Because named after his brother, who was electrocuted in that steel mill. When my father was little, his older brother got electrocuted. Shortly after his own father killed himself, which I wanted to show you that article. It says,
oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Trying to say that my grandfather died in a coal mine and he killed himself.
Text me your email address. I'll email it to you.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he did not. That's not true. He killed himself, jumped off the bridge, and my grandmother cut every picture of his face out of all the family pictures and ended up discarding them after that. Jumped right into the river.
Again, why do people get offended? Like, oh, he's a racist, or the whole Mel Chancey thing. It's the Roadhouse rule with Patrick Swayze. What if he calls my mother a whore? Is she? Why do you gotta have thick skin?
Yeah.
That shit doesn't. I'm not gonna get in a pissing.
You're gonna
match
kill
with
somebody?
anybody.
You're gonna kill somebody like that idiot?
Yeah.
He mistakenly fucked a tranny. Well, what the fuck are you gonna kill her for? What's that gonna do? Kill yourself if you're so damn embarrassed. What do you?
It's like you said. What happens in Vegas or wherever you go stays there. Don't tell anybody about it. You come back.
Except for me, I'm the only one that's honest. What happens behind the curtain in a strip club comes out to the world. How many other people can say that? How about you, Jay Cutler? How about the things you do out in Vegas? All the filthy things. I don't hear you expounding on them. That's why you're a cookie cutter. You have your image to upheld, where everybody knows about you and your Molly use.
Jesus, allegedly.
Jay Cutler, Molly McButter.
Allegedly, with a capital A.
He's doing trannies. He knows it.
Where are you getting this information
King
from?
Kamali came out, made an offhand reference. King Kamali, the bodybuilder, who admitted to doing 24 ecstasy in a 24-hour period, and he mentioned something about that's more than you, Jay Cutler. And I heard those rumors.
Emphasis on rumor.
That's why Cutler's wife left him.
Rumor, Lenny.
Remember that book? Remember that book in Barnes and Noble, Tom of Finland, with all the gay pictures of those men with those hats and the big boulders?
Cops, yeah, fucking each other in the ass with police.
Remember we go to Barnes and Noble?
Gay literature.
When we met, we trained, we go there. There was some girl, white girl, she was thick, wearing tight jeans. We're sitting down looking at these books, and this creep, Lenny's like...
Kid didn't deserve it.
Lenny's like, is that your girl over there? He's like, yeah. He goes, she's got a big fat ass. I like that. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, she got a big fat ass, and I like it. He goes, that's rude. Lenny goes, that's perception. I'll never forget that.
He probably never did a
poured
damn
it in
thing
those
with
jeans.
us. Yeah.
Then we go to the gas station and eat pints of ice cream. One time, some bull dyke, I was staring at her, me and Lenny. We're on GHB, we just trained. This bull dyke goes, what are you looking at, you big gorilla? I said, I'll kick your ass, you little dyke. You shut your mouth. I said, you want to be a man, I'll treat you like
She shut up real quick. See, a lot of those women and dykes think they can verbally humiliate a man. Well, not around here. It doesn't fly. My director, who's a woman, fucking said something smart to me, and I chewed her out the other day so she can go fuck herself. The one that's bringing up charges of me harassing a nurse because I threw her fucking food away by accident was on a patient cart.
Was this
everything
recently?
gets thrown away. Yeah.
You're getting...
I didn't tell you that. Yeah, and
Oh, boy.
trying to say that
What are you drinking?
you
Vodka and...
Again, Brad, vodka and cigarettes?
Stop, I got a fucking headache, you asshole.
Why don't you lick some ass like I did? You might do you a world of good.
He's going through all of my ice cubes. Just be sure to refill those ice trays, Brad.
Holy hell, Brad.
What? Holy hell.
Your liver's going to end up looking like Swiss cheese.
Lenny, I'll tell you what. I got an urge in me. I feel like hitting this tonight.
I do too. I just want to see what it's like up there.
Then just going back and forgetting all about it.
You know what? I want to see what. I just want to see what they have to offer up there. Because how about this? Why don't we do the tranny hunting video?
Oh my God.
The viewers want to see it. Are you able to do that?
I mean,
Me and Brad talked about just our schedules being able to do that. Why don't you shoot it?
It's raining out, though.
Yeah, but they'll still be around. They'll be lurking around. Just to see what it's like. We should go to a club in West Palm, then go back up to Dixie. Remember Tamika?
You had to talk about
the big tranny Tamika?
I had mentioned it. He did.
With her big ass. Remember we went over her house?
Yeah.
Tamika was a freak and cool, too. Watched a Dolphin game ticket with her on Thanksgiving.
No, I mean,
I'm deleting that one.
I don't have the urge for that. I mean, who knows?
I do. I see Tamika
Those
walking
girls
around in
really, that place
fishnets.
really turned me on. Like you said, for daytime, I mean, they were hot.
Yeah.
So the one that came up to me, I should have took her up on that. Went back there.
I offered, I said, everyone pitch in $20. You could have got it.
Taking people
Look how
money for
cheap.
that shit.
Come on. Took my money for Ariel's.
What would Jesus do, Andrew?
Here we go.
Try to convert them. Remember, he hung out with prostitutes and tax collectors who were the vermin of those times.
And they didn't quit doing what they're doing. I think
He was no cookie cutter, and he didn't judge anybody. Unfortunately, that's
I think
where,
Jesus was the ultimate non-cookie cutter. He judged those who judge, though.
Yeah.
Like the Romans with their little, laws and this and that.
He was the only sinless person to ever live.
And Brad actually has a tattoo of Jesus somewhere
Oh,
on
really?
the body of his.
Let's see it, Brad.
I was a believer one time.
What happened? Why'd you go astray?
Still a believer, Brad.
Do tell, Brad. I'm intrigued. What happened to you?
So you had a reverse epiphany. You referred to Andrew as having an epiphany. What was your reverse epiphany?
Just that I realized it was all bullshit.
How did you realize that?
People, because I would go to Catholic church with my ex.
It's not the good place to go.
Never mind the people. What do you think of Jesus?
I believe he existed.
You don't think he was deity?
No.
I
Son
think
of
he was.
God.
You don't think so?
People saw him after he's dead. Where's his body in the tomb? They can't find it.
Who's God?
You're not built
Who's
to.
God's father?
You're not really built to
doesn't have
understand
one.
that yet, Brad. You're not built to
Do you believe
understand
the
that.
universe had a beginning? It doesn't. There's laws of thermodynamics. Things are getting disordered, not more ordered. So it proves it had a beginning. Who began it? Who started it? Where the elements come from?
These are questions that nobody will ever definitively know the
Nobody
answer.
knows.
We're not designed to.
Yeah, we're not designed to. But you can't say for sure there's no God.
Correct.
We can't. I can't prove Jesus scientifically.
That statement
You can't-
I agree with.
Yeah. But again, the evidence, and I'll tell you a story. You could take what you will out of it. But 1 week prior to my brother's death, my parents have wood floors in the house that they'd lived in for 5 years at the time. And I kind of knew beforehand because I was more like diligent praying and whatnot. My mom and dad like, come over to the house. I got something to show you. I walked into the room. I look at the floor. I saw what the image of what we think Jesus is like on the wood floors. Did it appear out of nowhere? No. But you could say a lot of panes of wood look like Jesus. You could pick out figures. I used to take a crap when I was doing security and look at, point out what it looks like. My mom's
Like
like,
Jesus on the grilled cheese?
yeah, whatever.
what I was about
But
to
anyway,
say.
she's like, well, I'm scared. What does it mean? I was like, well, I think something's going to happen. He wants you to trust in him. A week later, my brother was dead. So of course, you could say it's a coincidence. You can't prove one way or the other what happened with that.
That's like
Yeah, I remember when I
happenstance.
got the call when you told me your brother said you were very distraught. I never heard you like that before, understandably so. It's horrible.
I just think it's like if you've ever been on a jury, you have the evidence to weigh. If you weren't there at the scene of the crime, you present evidence, and there's counter evidence. To me, the evidence is in that favor. Do I always live that way? No. Nobody can. Only Jesus did. But I don't judge people. Obviously, I'm here.
Well, that's the big problem with a lot of the Bible thumpers is
Well-
that you can't judge, but that's what they do is judge everybody.
It's not only that, and it's gotten astray. You got Joel Osteen, you got T.D. Jakes. That's not what it's about either. It's not all roses and fairy tales and making money. You're going to struggle.
Jesus loves you, Joel Steen.
Jesus
He wants
overturned
you
tables.
to have a successful life. Yes, he did.
Selling things in the church. Religion. I'm not a religious person. I believe.
He whipped people
Yeah.
because they were buying and selling and gambling in the church.
I just don't. The design of the body, the intricacy and the complexity of everything going
And
on.
the meaning of it.
You don't believe in
The
evolution.
total.
Microevolution. I don't believe in macroevolution. You ever hear of the Cambrian explosion, the fossil record?
No.
It's more evident of creation because things just appear fully formed, not gradual. There's so many missing links that macroevolution, it's bullshit. Talk about fairy tales for adults. Change within a kind.
Whoa, is that a Freudian slip?
What? What's
The Bible's fairy tales for adults.
no? I don't think so.
You know,
Brad, boy, that's an old one of your famous quotes.
No, it's not all superstition, and unfortunately, these pastors aren't trained to read original language of Hebrew and Greek. The average church doesn't go through that. It's stuff I do on my own. It keeps me up at night. I mean, 'cause what the hell are we here for, really? You got to ask yourself that.
Why is any living creature here?
To procreate.
They all have their
And
place.
that's our sin. I'll say that right now. That's our sin.
Well, it's not without concerns and holes in it. Like the cats outside. We had a winter storm. I look outside. They're playing with something for an hour. It turns out to be a baby mouse. I'm asking myself, what the hell was it on Earth for? If that's its fate. So it is concerning.
To feed the cats.
I'm not I don't follow it blindly, but it's like a quest you're always on until the day you die.
What's the aborted fetus is concerned?
Yeah.
But it had a purpose.
Whether
you live 100 years or a millisecond, it's all relative.
Just think how that's accepted in this country. Give it up to adoption. Plenty of people want kids. They can't have kids. I don't agree with it.
Better yet, like I tell the maniacs, you don't fuck unless you're married and plan on having kids. You can suck each other off. You can jerk each other off.
As far as that,
and
it's
it's what Dave Palumbo reiterated, what we talked about with Dave.
Yeah.
He's like, well, how do you know if she's good in bed? Well, you know that from jerking each other off and sucking each other off and rimming each other.
People say that.
You want to get to know somebody? Rimmer.
If she's unselfish, you're married to her, she's going to do whatever it takes to please you. In the bedroom, in the kitchen. That's what it's about.
That's a good
How have your women done in the kitchen, Brad, over the years?
Because what about, like I told Lenny, he says that. What about the guys that get married? She's a total freak, and then all of a sudden you get married and she won't put out.
Yeah.
And then she sues you or takes you to court, takes half of what you own.
Right.
You get put through the ringer that way. So don't give me that shit about, you got to find out what she's like in the bedroom. It might be
So
the opposite.
you're directing this to Dave.
I've heard that so many times in my life. You gotta experiment before marriage. Why?
It's like what
you're gonna get screwed
Andrew
either way.
The mask coming off.
Yeah, you're screwed either way.
It's not the bedroom. It's
Well, it never benefits the man.
no.
Yeah.
Last I heard, it was over 50% divorce rate, over 80% of which is initiated by women. The courts are skewed in their favor. That's why this country's going down the tubes.
has been plotted against by the communists for almost 100 years. Like Synthol Mark has extensive knowledge on. We need to bring it back. First, you break up the family, as me and Andrew talked about, making the man the buffoon, useless, a
The
joke.
shows, the
Absolutely.
Archie Bunker.
Well, we noticed that like when we were watching the Super Bowl, all the
you
commercials
watch them?
made the white man look like a
Communism
fucking
is
imbecile.
behind that. They know they're going to overtake us militarily or commercially, but they'll break down.
All you have to do,
society.
at least if you live here in the United States, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners who live overseas might not see the commercials that are aired here in the United States. This is the average commercial. My husband Jim can't do anything right, and he'll be in the background like hung up in the blinds, hanging from the window. We just want to look for a car, and you just go to cars.com, and it's so easy. And they show the husband, some buffoon. That's all you.
What
see.
about the
it's
one?
Never the other way around. It's always the man who's being portrayed as the dumb schmuck.
I'm tired of it. That's why I've checked out. That's why you asked why I haven't been with a woman since 2012. That's why. And a friend of mine up north introduced me to the manosphere, the red pill and all that, if you're familiar with that. Basically, your eyes are open to, like the movie The Matrix. I watched it just so I could get the context of what he was talking about.
One of my favorite movies.
Red pill. So basically, we're raised as blue pill betas to like be nice to women and open doors and all this shit. They don't want anything to do with that. They like the alphas. What is it? It's beta bucks and alpha fucks. They go for the beta types. It's true. The cucks who put up with it, they make money. They got good money, and they still like the bad boys. They bang the bad boys on the side. But when they're ready to settle down, when they hit the biological wall in their 30s, like this girl I used to bang out in the parking lot. I heard she's married now with a kid. She was a total whore. You think she's going to be faithful to this guy? I won't mention her name. But that's what happens. They want to settle down, so they pick a guy with money who's like a cuck type.
Adam
then they go
Harper.
around and cheat on him. Yeah, it's
Oh my God.
who?
Adam Harper.
Lenny's got no shame.
He doesn't give a fuck. But keep going.
But so he gave me some material to read, some websites I checked out, a couple books. The Rational Male. The guy's name is Rollo Thomas.
You ever listen to Tom Likas?
Yeah, he sent me.
Okay.
He gave me all this stuff. I listened to him. It's funny stuff, but it's true. That guy was married how many times? Four times. Yep.
See,
Why-
that part I don't quite get.
I don't get
Why
it.
the fuck does it take you 4 times to figure this shit out?
I can see twice, but after that, there's something wrong with you. To
What
try
is
again
marriage
after-
now? gays can marry. Why do it? It's just absolutely.
It doesn't benefit the man.
No.
Because, like a guy I work with, he was married to a foreign lady, 10 years. They didn't have any kids. Get divorced, took half his fucking pension.
Yeah.
There's a documentary.
But you want to be a feminist, right?
Yeah.
You want to equal everything, but you'll take half
And besides,
of that
marriage is
man's
an
Right,
abomination.
exactly.
that you didn't even fucking
sex
earn.
do it.
Right.
Get
You
the
believe
fuck
in independence, but you want an
Yeah.
alimony check after you get divorced. You want an annuity every month.
Correct.
Well, it's like we were talking about on the way here when I think we were talking about the demonetization of the algorithm. They don't like something they hear. It's a double standard. Those people are very left wing.
Right,
So
correct.
anything should go really.
Right.
I mean, it's even infiltrated. Even saying it as if you want to call me a Christian, it's infiltrated the Christian church. You got pastors taking a side to women, putting down men in the church. It's a problem. It infects every facet of society.
Well, the demasculization of this country has been happening for a
We
long
talk
time.
Yeah,
about
the
all the
communist
time, yeah.
plots.
Yeah.
What's the one commercial? The guy's sick on a couch. He's like a little baby. He's like a Campbell's soup. She's like, make it yourself. It's like, man up. You hear that a lot.
Now,
Man up.
can you imagine if that commercial was the other way
Oh,
around?
jeez.
No,
All
it would
the
never
lawsuits.
air.
That
would never
company
air.
would be boycotted.
That's right.
That
All
would-
the
that would be
shows,
it.
the Archie Bunker, the Married with Children, the guy's like a big dope buffoon. Even the cartoons, Homer Simpson.
Correct.
You see right through the shit now.
Yeah, I never
Tired
watched
of it.
that shit. When it first came out, I watched it. I can't even watch it.
What's that show? Modern Family. I can't watch it.
Dude, I need to quit watching that stuff.
Pussification of America.
Yeah.
And we can't say shit about it or else we're racist or we're sexist or
Where you get banned from the WWE, want to give the fans what they want, and I get banned from the WWE. I should have been in this year's WrestleMania.
Yeah, sure.
You were
Leonard.
never in it in the first place.
Please.
They wanted to see it.
Fuck outta
They wanted
here.
to see me with that bleach blonde wimp Triple H.
You gotta go to one of these private wrestling organizations. Isn't there other ones besides the WWE that you can?
That's small time.
Jeff
Does
Jarrett
anyone
had
watch
one.
them? That's the thing.
Small time garbage. They wanted me right to the top. They want asses and seats I could deliver. They don't seem to
They
care
already
about
get
that.
asses in seats. They do
They're
like what?
fucking
2
faggot
pay-per-views
asses
a
and
month?
seats. They suck.
Should wrestle Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
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 Even wrestling's changed the way it's changed.
It sucks. It fucking
When we
sucks.
started
It's a
lifting,
soap
I couldn't
opera.
wait to get home. I'd tape one and watch the other. It was great. You had Hogan, it was like the NWO, but I haven't watched it in years. I couldn't tell you who's in it. Back when Terry wrestled, it was great. You had the scrub matches. That's really like how I got into lifting. I was so like mesmerized with the wrestlers and like
Yeah.
little He-Man dolls and stuff, putting on size. That's
What
why.
was with that bouncer at Diamond Dolls? 100% convinced that lift by the Warlord was real. Is that guy a
He's
little?
one of the warlord dick suckers. Works with him.
That wasn't real.
It's real. It's real.
Yeah.
Look at the bar. It's bending. Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at his sausage legs.
That guy's got a little Big Rob fitness going on.
Even if you're moving the weight quick, that kind of weight, it's more of a struggle than as smoothly as he was doing it. He's a strong guy, Terry. Don't get me wrong.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, the former pro wrestler, the Warlord, is a bouncer at the strip club we went at today. We just missed his shift by 2 hours. If you go on YouTube, there's a video of him bench pressing 5 plates on each side for, 19 reps?
Yeah. No way.
And the bouncer was arguing with Mike Tits
that it wasn't fake.
that it was not a fake. Lenny's cringing. What did I show?
But
I said that?
but then he came.
Mike T. Excuse
he
me.
came back though, and he said, "Oh, those could be fake plates. They're 35s,
Yeah.
but in a 45 casing or some shit."
the
He said,
point?
but still, who knows?
Just one of these dick suckers around here. It's
I'm sure he
sausage
could move a
legs.
lot of weight, but 19 times 5
Yeah, he was
plates.
strong.
Nah.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
Yeah, it's,
And the lactic
wouldn't that
acid
be?
builds
Wouldn't
up.
that be in like the Guinness Book of World
That's
Records?
kind of
that's
weight would
like
be-
that's gorilla strength.
Yeah, that's
That would mean his max bench would be like 850 pounds.
And it was only 650 according to him. That doesn't translate. If you're doing 650, you're doing
Well,
about
you figure
500
10
for about
plates is
9 or 10.
450, right?
10 plates, it's $4.95.
He had some two.
Right.
you know,
Well,
he-
450 plus the
He
bar.
had some
Yeah.
2.5s on there, so it came
19
out to,
fucking times.
It came out to 500
No
even
way.
plus the collars.
Yeah. Oh,
Even
the
me,
yeah,
you
the
know-
collars are 2.5.
Yeah.
You know what I feel like after 12 reps? Remember when you did 9? It was almost impossible to get 10.
9 with how much weight?
500.
5 plates, yeah.
Actually, it was 495 to be honest. It wasn't even 500. He loaded 5 plates on.
I used to take, which would like draw a lot of attention, was go in the squat rack with 365, take it out, and stand and press it for reps.
Strict.
Ridiculous gorilla strength.
Christ.
People would look. I mean, because
They thought he was going to squat a heavyweight, and it turns
take
out
it out.
he's lifting it like nothing behind the neck the whole
Probably
time.
why I don't know.
And standing. You imagine the core strength. That's
That's why once
What were you on when you were doing that weight?
a lot of androgens test, Anadrol.
nothing special.
Yeah, just the basics.
The basics work
Yeah.
every time.
Shit.
Strong as shit, no belt. And I think I answered a couple YouTube comments that wanted to know about the guts. I think there's many factors involved.
You don't have a gut now.
Yeah, it's shrunk down now, but at our prime, no belts, overeating, really not much growth in my case, or insulin, but yeah, the belts. So you're pushing out at your core strength. When you get that first rep of 365, it's all stomach getting that first rep up. But my traps and neck and shoulders.
Fucking imagine.
Yeah.
That's
People would look. I don't care who's in the gym. We went down to Commercial Boulevard Golds, all those bodybuilders, Claude Gruel.
They didn't like
First day I went in there, I looked around the gym. We were doing shoulders. I said, I'm the man in here now. And they all stopped
Everybody's
and looked.
looking, yeah.
But,
It's like unheard of. Most people go into gyms and are intimidated.
Not many people, period, have done that. Maybe Kaz.
7 strict.
Yeah.
And very rarely.
Even when I dieted and doing, like, when I got more into bodybuilding, I'd do the seated press, 315 behind the neck. Girls would stop and just, like, stare. They couldn't believe it. Over at LA Fitness, yeah.
You got a little pussy that way. I give him credit. At least they got recognized.
Could have had more. Should have had Sherry Lee, Nikki.
Yeah.
married to the weights.
Of course, George Johnson created her.
Yeah.
Jay Masters is buddy.
We tried showing up at her place one time across from the LA Fitness in Delray. We found out where she lived, but it was like gated.
Sick.
We tried to get in there.
You two animals.
She would have loved it, Brad. I'd come in all sweaty. She would have loved it.
She came up and told Andrew he liked his beard.
Yeah.
And he was fucking mortified.
You guys
I was so shy.
You guys just found out where she lived and went over
Yeah,
there?
somehow found out.
We
She
were
dated
going
Rich
to.
Wagon.
She was so intimidating. The guy that does my bike. We
Oh,
were
okay,
there.
yeah. I know that is.
She dated regular dudes.
Dopehead Rich Wagon. She dated Lou.
Yeah, Lou.
Lou ate gummy bears out of her butthole.
He said she was just a regular broad.
He actually ditched her at a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert. He said
sick
she was being a
motherfucker.
bitch. She wasn't paying attention to him, so he gave one over and said, "Hey, Sherry, go fuck yourself. Get your own ride home." And I don't think, obviously, she doesn't have a problem getting a ride home from a man. You get a blonde like that. But
I remember the
Sherry
first-
Lee.
Yeah.
She was a bodybuilder.
she was a 10,
She did
yes.
figure, but big, thick, round, beautiful, from Michigan.
She had a girl's
5'9", long
girl's
legs.
ass.
She looked like Pamela Anderson.
With an
Very
ass.
similar.
Lenny was stretching one day. She
Yeah.
came in and put her knee in his back. He started getting a hard on. She's like, "Come on, leave into that
Intimidated. I
stretch."
was intimidated.
Remember the time you were doing a leg press and you tore your hip and they had
Yeah.
to take your pants off? You was looking
Yeah,
below
she's
the
looking
waist.
at between my legs. Hey, beside that girl at the strip club, she said a small dick. When I finally took it out, she goes, "I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm wrong." Yeah, how'd my ass taste there?
What was her name?
Cuba.
Did you get her name?
No, Cuba. I could use that for hemorrhoid treatment on a daily basis. I'll tell you what.
So disgusting.
That's not your
I can't
teeth
believe
aren't gonna
she
get any
fucking
worse.
rimmed you. I can't
believe it either.
I can't fucking believe she did.
She went in real hesitantly, and then she must have liked what she tasted.
She probably accidentally breathed through her nose.
Yeah, maybe that flank steak dump that I took. Turn it on.
Broccoli and flank steak.
10 minutes before she
Worst
did it.
broccoli fucking farts. Jesus Christ, Leonard. You didn't fart in her face?
No, I wanted her to fart in my face, but she couldn't. So I squeezed her stomach. Besides that Haitian girl I was with, man, I'd really remember her. She'd ride me. It was great. Fart in my face. When she farted, she made sure she'd run up and stick it in my face. Because I said, "You don't mind doing it?" She goes, "I don't like it, but if you like it, I have no choice." That's a good woman for you.
Okay.
Her and her mother cooking for me. They didn't even want me to get up to refill my drink. They're waiting on your hand and foot. They were so... Because I like their cooking so much. That was the highlight of their life.
I hate Haitian.
Then I'm thinking to myself...
You like it?
The smell. Oh,
No, Brad. There's certain
Actually pretty
kinds
good.
are good, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like
I
Jamaican
can't
food.
stand this. If I don't like the smell of something, I'm not eating it.
I mean,
And their food that they cook.
Andrew
man,
liked it.
I liked it. The white rice with the pureed black beans,
Yeah,
really good.
It's very
Beef
good
tasso.
for you. Very good for you.
Yeah.
They use some fucking seasoning that just. I don't know if that's the same shit.
Well, they
that you
make
guys
different
have.
things, but yeah, there's different things. But to have a girl do that, boy, I fucked that up royally, didn't I?
like-
She used to rim me on the condition that, of course, she took me in the shower, cleaned me off first, and then she'd rim me.
It's like this, like you guys were talking about one of the podcasts about traveling to see different cultures. Same thing. I like trying different foods. You know, you could chalk the tranny thing up to being with strange flesh to see how it goes. That's what it was. I mean, a few times for me was just what the hell's the big deal? Let's see what it's all about. I mean,
Plus, being high on GHB.
It's certainly not gay. I'm
Trust me.
considered gay.
If you
When I
weren't
was on
going
the-
on that shit, I'm sure you probably wouldn't even have dabbled with it.
yeah, and just early 20s, high test. But I went after nastier looking true females on G, like fat. Just I wouldn't give them the time of day otherwise. I was all over them like white on rice when I was on that G. If they're the only ones around, shit.
You got to stick your dick in something.
Yeah, you got to. You got to get that
That
release.
fat Mexican girl smoking a cigarette.
As long as it's a hole with a little heat, right?
Yeah. If the porno place, Mr. Wink, wasn't open, that was at an off hour, shit, you got to seal the deal. Remember that little Japanese creep working there? We were laughing our asses off at him. He put his head down. The video converter.
Little porn addict, yeah, selling complete garbage. Stuff from the 70s. He tried to mark up the price on it.
Lenny would say, I got to return a tape to the video store. He'd have like 10 pornos with him, try to run and hide them so I wouldn't see him dropping them off.
Yeah, it was embarrassing.
Remember Rudette would come in the room? You had the pornos going.
On GHB, yeah.
I remember my mom
Your
came
mom
in.
caught you too.
Yeah, I was half passed out. She's like, what were you watching? She goes,
Brazilian
the
girls
Brazilian
with
girl
tattoos.
naked with a spider web on her ass. I said, it's Lenny's mom. He gave it to me. I was just keeping an eye on it for him. He probably told them the same things when they caught him.
It was Andrew's, yeah.
Well, she caught me looking at filthy things on her own internet, so I believe me, I faced the music on that, and it was horribly embarrassing.
Who's that, your mother?
When she said, "What the hell are you looking at?"
That
She
was
goes, "What
recently
are
with
you-"
your smartphone, right?
Well, not only that, but her own computer and her smartphone. Yeah.
Did you use her Facebook to say
Yes.
something to Christina?
I gave her many messages. They're all on there.
Oh, your mother's?
I used my own phone. I knew how to do it. Team Christina Broccolini Facebook.
But you used
Look it up. The
you
comments.
used your mother's Facebook.
That was the phone she gave me. No, I used my own phone. I was able to do it. All that was me. I was able to do it. It was November. Many messages on there.
You think you're going to get to meet her one day?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not only that.
Not if he drops dead.
When I'm dead, I'm going to definitely meet her because she's going to carry me to heaven. I still
Lenny,
do that.
Instagram question.
No
if
chance.
If you can only save one life, would you choose Andrew Collura or Christina Broccolini?
I'd say
Sorry,
Andrew
Andrew.
because Christina is going to carry my into eternity as I will her. I've seen that vision. So, and whether our physical body on earth or in heaven passes, we will still meet each other like that.
Some guy asked if it creeps you out how much Lenny's obsessed with you.
No. I mean...
Yeah, he's all scared.
Probably, it's a lot of weight I lifted. If I saw somebody doing the kind of weight I did...
I mean, not only my training partner, but somebody doing the stuff that he did, you don't forget that. You don't. Lifting ability alone.
Who else is there to talk about in these gyms now?
Plus, he gave me good
You
counsel.
saw it today. Was anybody doing anything off the wall? I mean...
No.
I like the stories you would tell me about, like Benny Potta, the guy from Pittsburgh, who, what the hell did he do? He robbed a gas station with a bow and arrow.
For painkillers.
Doing cable row. You want to talk about a real nut? Doing cable rows, smashed his nose, wrapped his
Cable
nose, kept
snapped.
going.
He refused to go to the hospital.
Hanging weights from his balls. He
220
lives in a
pounds
cave.
from his nuts.
Yeah, so I was like, God, I would like to meet
He
someone.
challenged anybody. He told when he went to Chuck Norris, he says, "Hey, punch me in the chest as hard as you can." Chuck said, "Oh, I don't think I should." He says, "I said fucking do it." And he said when Norris gave him a shot, and this when Norris was competitive, he said he didn't budge an inch. Joe Montana actually ended up having this guy do acupuncture on him. This guy was a nut, but he was a genius. Benny Potta. I saw him at a Pittsburgh bodybuilding show breaking cinder blocks with his fucking hands, spraying blood out, and for part of his pose routine, he'd hang himself.
Yeah.
He'd put a rope up on the rafters and he'd stay there for 5 minutes, hang himself or whatever, and he'd break out of the thing and he'd go flip
Jerk off like Carradine.
David, that was
block.
exactly what I was thinking. David Carradine.
That was like his last show. He's like, I knew I could never top that
Yeah.
when I hung from the rafters and flicked everybody off. He's like, I knew I was done.
He said he would do a reverse orgasm too with hanging the nuts. He said instead of coming outward, he said he felt like it would come inward. And he says, "You're on fire."
He got into, like Tom Platz, very much into like Eastern mysticism and meditation. And Tom Platz could really like channel, like take himself to another place.
This guy had a
Nobody trains it hard.
empty apartment with a bowl and a spoon.
Yeah.
And that's it. No material possessions.
Tom
Who's that?
Platz, God, that guy,
Benny Potta, he'd smoke a lot of weed.
big squatter too. He could almost squat with Tom
Dope
Platz.
smoker.
I mean, both these guys would do 50 reps for 315.
People into bodybuilding get involved in all sorts of, wreck drugs and whatnot. I mean, I would have tried anything.
Chris Duffy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you're willing to inject all that
Yeah.
shit into your body, what the fuck's the difference if you...
I mean, there were a couple limits for me I never had the access to, but I don't think I would have tried heroin or crack.
Nah,
or
yeah, that's...
Hallucinogens always scared me because I was afraid I was going to like...
No,
have
you
a
never
bad-
tried LSD?
No.
No.
Because I was
You?
afraid to have a bad trip and be stuck in
happened?
it.
You just have to do it. You can't explain it. It's
But I
hard
was
to,
intrigued.
It's hard to explain.
I was intrigued
have
by
to do
the...
There's no
Dorian
explanation.
talking about that DMT, though.
sounds very intriguing, I have to say. I believe in it. Like you mix.
Well, the thing what's good about it, what they said, it only lasts for like 20 minutes.
Really?
So like acid, if you take LSD, a lot of it'll last for 8 fucking hours. So if you're just like, all right, I'm done with this, it just doesn't.
Well,
stop.
like he and Rogan said, Rogan's an atheist, but even he admitted when he would do it, like when somebody's negative and you're in a negative atmosphere. Like my mom and my brother that's alive, there's a lot of tension and negativity. I believe if you're on something like that, you could see like colors, probably like dark. I don't know how to explain. I've never done it, but I believe it's there.
Well, yeah, they say don't do acid if you're in a bad frame of mind. You'll have a bad trip.
I mean, if
you have to be.
See, that's what I'm afraid of. I'd have to do it alone. But yeah.
Why, you have dark thoughts?
No, I think if you're in if you go wherever you go to do it, if it's not a positive thing, you're gonna have probably that's like the manifestation of it is if you see colors. I don't know if you see trails from lights. If it's a negative atmosphere and people are bitching and arguing and fighting, maybe it's like dark, like trails. I don't know. But that's what they were talking about. Joe Rogan said he did it with his buddy, and it was like negativity coming out.
Where do you get it?
I don't know what it is even. Is it like peyote, DMT? I haven't even...
Dimethyltryptamine or some shit.
You saw it when he interviewed him.
Probably get a chemist in it, I would imagine.
But Dorian, he's in all sorts of stuff now. He goes in the jungle with the shaman and does everything.
Well, so did Aleister Crowley.
Yeah.
He would go in ice-cold homes in England to get possessed by demons. He would stay there for months at a time. No utilities, no food, and the demons would overcome him. He was in a very cold.
Because when you're starving, you start hallucinating. If you're sleep deprived, you start hallucinating.
You know that song, Mr. Crowley? Yeah. You heard it at Ozfest?
Ozzy, yeah.
He also ate shit too. He's another one.
Well, you ate shit a few hours ago.
Were you in the gym that time I dropped the weight on my chest, the 455?
No.
Prime time?
Old World Gym?
Blood came spurring out of his mouth. Dropped it at arm's length right on his chest.
I blame Willard because it was like a week prior. He's like, stop using chalk in here. You know, the humidity in the gym during prime time, how sweaty everything
slippery
is.
hands.
So I did the suicide grip. I was repping it. I got 2-3 reps, 455. Slips out of my palms, hits me right on the sternum.
You get up.
Marvin Boyd was there. The big black dude was ripped.
Semi-pro football player.
Jeff
he was
Jarrett, the trainer.
That's the last we saw him. He got scared and left.
He took off. It was loud. I get up. I'm like,
you cracked some ribs. You couldn't breathe.
Yeah, and I rolled back. I fell out, and the paramedics came in. They're like, you need to go to the doctor. I was like, nah, I don't have insurance. I'll go home. So the adrenaline was all working. I went home later that night. Oh my God, the pain for like 2 weeks. I never went to the doctor. I guess I cracked something. Never got it checked out. Whenever I laughed, no insurance, I was a walking time bomb. I was working at GNC, which is now the movie theater in Delray. Or is it LA Fitness or is it a movie theater?
Yeah, it's LA Fitness.
I was working over there.
Maybe we'll go to there tomorrow and do back.
Yeah. It hurt like hell for sneezing, laughing for the next couple weeks. Oh my, I couldn't live.
You probably broke a couple ribs,
And it was loud.
You were there, Leonard?
Gruesome.
Yeah, he was there.
One of the guys spotted him. We shouldn't have done it like that. That two-man spot guy on each side does not work. I don't know why the fuck. Oh, and get this. This little fucker named Eric Wassert. Little fucking prick, 5 foot tall.
He goes again. Yep.
160 pounds of shit. Andrew squatting his 6 weights for reps. And this little prick who couldn't even squat a plate telling people he's a power lifter and a Louis Simmons disciple. I called him a Richard Simmons disciple, but Andrew's repping away, and this asshole decides to get involved. So what does he do? He grabs the fucking one side of the 6 plates and starts pulling on her, trying to lift it up. I'm thinking, what the fuck is this guy doing? He almost flipped over with it. He got so pissed, I don't blame him, rocked the weight. And this little fucker says, he got scared. Andrew looked at him like, I'm going to kill you. Is it something I said?
Was he off?
I don't know what he was. He was trying to get involved in the action.
Why would he run up and grab one side of the fucking bar?
Even better, some cookie cutter with a ponytail saw us squatting there. Comes over, says, he goes, I'll show you how to squat deep.
Yeah.
You're not deep enough. So no warm up. He takes 405 off. He has Andrew spot him at first. And when you're spotting on the squat, what you do is you lift him by the upper chest and you get it
underneath you.
And you gradually, The guy fucking took 405 down so deep like an elevator, went so fast, he didn't even have a chance to go on the positive. His fucking ankle snapped. The bone's hanging out. Andrew ducks out of the way. The 405 goes on the ground.
It's like dropping.
Then he's looking at Andrew. He's in intense pain. You're supposed to spot me. And I'm thinking, what the fuck's he supposed to do when you do weight you can't handle, let it drop like that, like a fucking elevator with a broken cable?
Trying to be a show-off.
Yeah.
He crawled out. He was in so much pain. It was so nasty.
Then he saw him at the mall a couple weeks later. He's talking crap about me that I didn't spot him. What do you want me to do?
Lift it for him, you
Dive bomb
fucking
it?
retard.
Yeah, I don't know your form, what you intend to do with that kind of
Yeah,
weight.
total idiocy.
And all you could do is...
You could hear it snap,
Yeah,
too.
oh,
It was
yeah.
horrible.
Was it a compound fracture? The bone came out of the skin?
I didn't see it. You heard it snap. I don't know.
It was
my workout.
something was
Well,
poking
buddy, no
out.
problem. Trying to show off with your little spandex on. Trying to show
Yeah,
me
and a
up.
ponytail.
I got that a lot, I remember. Josh Adams, he tried to show me up.
Yeah. Those college football players thought they'd outbench you. Boy, they were in for a rude awakening. They fucking walked out of that gym. They got all the biggest bench, and they were hundreds of pounds off. I don't know what they were thinking.
Where was this? The Old World Gym?
Yeah,
Yes.
the Old World Gym.
Yes.
I remember when I was working in high school at Boston Market on Glades Road. Paul was giving me the counterfeit 20s. So we were drinking beer. Some Haitian, he looked just like Mike Tyson. He was dating some white girl I liked. So we went over there. We were all drinking, hanging out. Started talking shit. He thought he could outbench me. I was doing the Gannon ball and the EQ and the Winnie. I was benching 365 in high school. So he puts like 2 plates. He couldn't even do it. I gave him the fake 20s just in case I did lose. I wouldn't have to pay any real money. Showed him up. He started, oh, I'm drunk. I can't. I said, well, take some weight off. Let's see what you can do. And he couldn't do it. He looked like an idiot. His girl was all turned on by me. Cookie cutter. Trying to show me up, little Mike
Boy, a
Tyson.
lot of girls get turned on by you that are with guys. That's got to be pretty pathetic.
Yeah, when you're lifting that kind of weight. I mean,
Yeah, it does. I mean, today's feminists are still a primal type. Just like when a girl sees a guy kick another guy's ass, that impresses them.
the biggest thing today, and you saw it, is attention. Whoever the popular male is, everybody, because the women in that gym, whether they're with guys or not, if they saw people coming up to you, recognizing you, and you did the karaoke, they're all smiles. They forgot all about the dudes they were with. Mm-hmm. Bottom line, no matter who you are.
That girl standing next to me with her boyfriend was filming you. She was cracking up.
She loved it,
She was smiling ear to ear.
I was looking for her. Where the fuck she go? I probably went out to play with herself, and I missed the opportunity. And they gave me a dirty look. Give me a fucking dirty look, you creep.
We should start going there once a month to do a workout video.
It's great gym.
Yeah, it was a great gym.
It's worth it, yeah.
If that gym was just a little closer to where we live, we'd be there all the time.
Do whatever you want.
I can't believe
like
nobody had any
gym,
problem with you filming.
Yeah.
And the weights are awesome. The good heavy free weights.
Those hammers are great.
Hammers.
All the old school equipment.
Yeah.
And you,
It's a nice gym.
you did good. You had 4 plates on that incline. You spanked me.
Yeah, it was smooth. I like the wasn't too steep of an incline.
You got a good pace. You don't. You're like Brad. Yeah, Brad Andrews telling me the whole time how impressed he was by you.
Yeah, guy gets after it, man. He's in there. I'm turning around. He's doing 2-3 different exercises. Yeah. That's normally how I train. I'm just, whatever we're filming, try to spice it up, I guess.
With your work ethic and your...
You work 2 jobs regularly?
Yeah.
God.
3 jobs if you...
Hey, do what you got to do.
Count the T-shirts.
Hey, I applaud you. You're not sitting on your ass trying to collect a check.
No, that's why I hate these fucking bums sitting on this.
I don't like it either.
These able-bodied, like we say, able-bodied adults fucking begging for change next to the fucking, the highway and shit. These guys can stand outside all day in the heat for 8 hours begging for money. Why the fuck can't you go get a job?
There's a guy up by me.
Fuck you, I'm not giving you anything.
Yeah, he's a black guy. He walks around in the summer with his shirt off, and he's in the winter, he's walking around all day. I'm like, why? He could get a job. What is he doing all day? He walks all around this boulevard where I work.
Looking for
all
mayhem,
day,
scoping things
Handouts.
out.
Yeah.
Every time I go to fucking Publix
to no
where I
good.
live, there's somebody out there begging for fucking money.
And the dude
I
I work
just
with...
tell them the bank's over there.
Yeah.
They go,
You see that black guy in Delray that you probably saw him with that cart with all that junk on it? I don't know how he fills it on it. And he wears these baggy pants.
East or West Delray?
Military. Where the old world gym is at that bus stop beforehand as you're going to my place.
This one I always see around here.
You've seen him there, right? This black guy?
I made it.
He has so much junk on that shopping cart. I don't know.
oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, and I tell people the story to this day. When we went to the soup kitchen in Delray, you're like, come on, let's go get us a free meal. Because you told me what they do. They get 3 square meals a day. Meanwhile, all day they're screwing, doing crack.
Under health inspector.
Yeah.
Higher quality than the restaurant. I did community service
I used to deliver to that once on
for telling a
12th
16-year-old girl that I loved her when I did community service. You should see those fuckers come in. Getting fed. All of them.
Yeah. Enabling them.
Yeah. Matter of fact, the one other fucking girl I know, she was in there, was embarrassed to see me. So they're getting free food. Better than restaurant quality. It has to be a certain... I mean, I was there. We cut the chicken bones in half. We had gloves on. We used kitchen shears. That was high quality chicken. and all those do-gooder cookie cutters, but they started asking me and him questions because we weren't black.
Yeah.
I said, no questions asked.
The white bleeding heart women in there serving them up food, eyeballing us.
He's giving it to us. We're lifters.
What are
We
you
need
judging
extra
us
calories.
for?
Yeah.
We're putting it to better use.
Any bodybuilder and lifter, kid that's or any age, hard time making with money, go to a soup kitchen and get yourself a meal because you deserve it. More than those fucking drunk, crack-addicted, alcoholic dredges of society that people seem to feel sorry for. We saw them today, too, right behind the Broward jail. They got the homeless
like
center, all those
place.
fuckers laying in the fucking grass, pissing and shitting like San Francisco. I heard the biggest problem now is you can't walk your dog because the dog is eating fecal matter that the bums do shit all over.
Savage talks about it all the
San
time.
Francisco.
The whole state of California is going down the
What's
toilet.
that area in LA, they call it Skid Row. It's like miles and miles of homeless, mentally ill people. But the truth is, a lot of them like it. The guy I work with up north, he's a Marine. He's like, his theory is a lot of them are like, look, I don't have to pay bills. I could get money all day.
Get drunk. I get
Go to
high.
a soup kitchen.
I can shit outside.
Think about it. You got a health issue, ER for free. You don't pay the bill. Who are they going to bill?
They can't send it anymore.
Yeah.
You don't have a fucking address.
Exactly. You got people to
You got a
take advantage.
social life.
Yeah, when I went to, I think it was 2012, I went to California, LA, and went on Venice Beach, right by Muscle Beach. There's bums every fucking where. They sleep right because the weather's great there year round.
And they close up Venice Beach because then bums could live there probably. That's real nice, a landmark.
Hey, I'm not ashamed to say when I got this surgery, I didn't pay a dime. I had no health insurance. I'm a part-time trainer and bouncer. I need this surgery. So a couple ex-cons, Chris was one of them. You remember that guy, the white dude, and Andy, told me about this program called the Healthcare District of Palm Beach County. So for a guy like me, if you make $1,300,
right there off Congress.
So you go there, you submit the paperwork. I didn't submit what I'm making off the books. I'm like, these guys are ex-cons and they're getting free medical. I'm gonna get it. I'm a tax-paying citizen. I've never been in trouble, so I got free surgery,
Sure,
free
why not?
meds. You'd go in there to get my meds, all Haitians, knocked up with kids, collecting, not working. Couple white dudes, ex-cons, and then me. And I'm like, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I'm going to take advantage. I pay my taxes in this county, too.
Yeah.
Might as well. Why not me? So.
And they did, the surgery went well.
Other than the blood pressure thing, but that was.
Well, you're on mass tabs.
What year did you get the surgery?
07, July 07.
Unbeknownst to you.
I remember I hadn't taken anything, juice. I took pro hormones when they were strong as shit, like a month before. A lot of ephedrine when you can get it. So I thought I was off, or who knows what happened. But anyway, they're trying to figure out and trying to put me in an MRI, a little regular person one. My mom's like, he's not going to fit. You can't put him in it. I'm in pain. They lay me out in the thing, and they wheel me in there. I remember the kid that got me. He's like, when I said 5'8", 285, he goes, I thought it was some big fat person. He goes, I can't believe all these people are looking at me. I couldn't fit in the stupid thing, so they did a CT scan. Did all these tests. Everything was fine. They said something was high in my piss. It was catecholamines from my adrenal glands. And the doctor's like, those steroids are bad for you. She's like, your body can't handle, a traumatic thing. You'll die next time. I was like, what? So I got all depressed. That anesthesia did something to me, too, I think. I don't know. It was my first time getting surgery. So, it was like a depressing couple months.
For it.
6 weeks out of the gym. Weak as shit when I came back, but your muscle memory, it comes back over time.
Yeah, within a month.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I was in an MRI machine. I don't like those at all.
Even the open
fucking
one.
Thing is right. Yeah,
I had one in Carolina for my back.
Right fucking here.
Yeah, I was like, I'm claustrophobic.
I just
I
closed
need
my
You
eyes.
want to freak out, but you do.
You
My
get
heart
those cold,
started
you get those
racing.
cold sweats.
Yeah.
You feel like
She's
your
like,
body's
the girl's like,
not
control your
fucking
breathing. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
The thing's right there. I was freaking out.
Yep.
Laying still.
My
I'm like, I
second
can't do
hospital
it.
stay, I pushed a girl with one hand on the floor.
Yeah.
I said, take me out.
And, it's loud as shit,
Yeah.
too. That fucking MRI.
Being buried alive's got to be the worst. Or
Yep.
drowning, like having the
Believe
water
me.
slowly go above.
It's been done.
Yeah.
Go ask those ragheads.
You just got to go in there and just shut your eyes
Yeah.
and the whole time. But you can't help but open them, and then you see how close. Have you ever been in one of those
No.
things? Oh, it's not fucking fun.
I remember when we were lifting. Remember I told you I had like blood in my jizz. It was my prostate. He told me I had an STD, so I went to that free clinic in Delray. And these two guys are in there, and they stick something in the hole of your pecker. It hurt, shriveled up to the hilt like a
Stack of dimes.
Yeah. I'm like 280. It was no infection. It was something. My prostate became inflamed. And that's another story. This girl I met at the Ugly Mug, I was with her at her house, banging her. It was like pre-contest. I was on Mastron. I think it does something to your prostate. Because I pulled out, You know that force, like the first time you come, that feel in your prostate you've never felt before, and it comes out. I was like, ugh, this feels weird. Blood came out all over. She was
out of your
freaked
ass?
out. No, out of my cum. It was like blood mixed in with the semen. She was like, thought I had like an STD. I was like, nah, it's just what I'm taking. I'm taking Master on. Because it converts to DHT. I think it affects your prostate.
Yeah.
And I talked to other guys. They're like, yeah, that happened to me. They were like ashamed. They didn't know who to talk to
Remember
about
that
it.
test I was taking from Mexico called STEM?
Never
It had
fucking heard that.
DHT.
Maybe that's happened to. I'm sure that's happened to Jay because he's done that shit.
Masters? Yeah. It was Master on every time I took it. I loved the effects of it. It really got me hard and dry. But that did something to my prostate. So, wow. Oh, another funny story is Dr. Sabara. When I went to see him, because it kept happening. And so I went in there, and he's like, we're using a cock ring? I said, a what? Was I using a what? I never heard of that. I said, what the hell is a cock ring? Because it happens. A lot of guys use it, and blood will come out. So he put me on stupid antibiotics that I didn't need, and he's like, I want you to masturbate 2 times a day. Your ejaculate's going to turn from a bright red to a Coca-Cola colored and eventually be pure white.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It was weird.
Did
Big
that,
juiced
did
up
that
guy.
happen?
Yeah. But it was something with my blood pressure. Like he said, he's like, he'd get the nosebleeds. He's like, it's going to come out of any orifice in your body when it's that high. For me, it would come out and piss and that. Jeez.
Did you guys see that video that surfaced last week of the guy deadlifting and then the blood started gushing out of his nose?
No.
You didn't see
Was
that?
that was at the Arnold?
I think it was at the Arnold's.
Really?
Some guy either tied or broke a dead. Let me see if I can bring it up on my phone. Hold on.
Ouch.
It's a lot of pressure. Yeah, I mean.
Did you see that black guy, that Nigerian or South African black bodybuilder that did that flip as a guest poser wearing socks and he fucking fell on the back of his
Broke
head?
his fucking neck.
Broke his neck and died.
That's Arnold?
No, it was like a few years ago. He's huge too, like Vic Richards, gigantic.
Yeah.
And just because he had the socks on, it slowed him up to where he didn't do a complete flip. He fell. It was horrible. Killed himself right on the fucking thing. It's horrible.
Here, Andrew, watch this.
What did you pull
I'm
up?
showing Andrew and like just look up deadlift nosebleed.
God, that's a lot of weight.
I think this is from at the Arnold, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I'm waiting for a reaction shot from them.
I don't think that lift counts.
Why is that?
He got it up, but he hitched it. A lot of organizations won't count that. Like, get it up on your thigh and, like, hitching it up.
What the hell would cause that to happen?
Pressure.
Yeah, think of the force. You're like, and all that blood, his pressure's probably high as it is, and it just comes out.
That was this year.
Yeah, as far as I know. Yeah, deadlift at the 2018 Arnold Strongman. Yep.
How much weight did they say?
939 pounds.
That's a lot.
That's absurd.
939. I think
Because
it's
that way
39.
ain't gonna budge.
939.
You're either gonna lift that or you're not.
I remember when I deadlifted the 8 plates. It was, what, 765? The feeling, it's just so
8
heavy.
plates on each side.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know if you did. Yeah, I think you did 7 plates for 12 on the rack deadlift.
How many can you fit on the bar? 10?
Well, that bar was almost
Such a
ready to
limit.
break.
Yeah. The bus driver, the little Puerto Rican guy, was there watching me.
Jose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too bad you didn't have cameras then, man.
I know. Well, funny thing is, the first time we died it down in 2004, I had a nice camera and a little.
You want to eat shit twice in one day?
We were filming at the World Gym over there. Like I was doing dumbbell press at 150. I thought I had it all recorded. I got up to Carolina and I gave it to this kid who was studying like to do stuff with like photography. He's like, "There's nothing on here." I was like, "What?" So maybe it just recorded the camera, not the little cassette. So
Andrew, you still have the Iron Sheik's phone number? Let's give him a call.
No, Mike T had the
Mike T.
fucking Iron Sheik's phone
I
number.
think
Not,
Andrew may still have it.
Did you
Yeah,
have
Mike
his-
T was on a plane with
somebody
the Iron
calling
Sheik.
him. Really?
Yeah.
Didn't you guys call him one day?
Yeah, it sounded like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
When Mike Titz did the podcast with
Where
us.
does he live? He lives down here.
What?
Where's the Iron Sheik, the Macho Man? You still have the Iron Sheik's number? Mike Tits.
He doesn't like that. Yeah, it's just that's what he got. Hey, he got the nickname. The
Ordering the
Maniacs gave him the name. It is what it is.
Yeah.
We all have the fucking nicknames. We don't choose them.
Yeah, he looked rough.
They'll
on
give
the
you a
floor.
nickname after this.
sure, yeah.
Fucking something about
They already
ISIS.
say they bang cats and this and that, and whatever.
Ooh.
Yeah, they want to know about your obsession with cats, your religion, all this shit, yeah. Born again shit. No, you're not eating while you're on the mic, Leonard.
Okay. At least the nausea is gone. Nausea.
That's good.
That steak was good though. That
Fuck
man.
yeah, it
Food
was, man.
excellent.
Yeah,
I kind of laughed. I feel like an idiot. I'm like, raviolis from a strip club. He's like, they're good. He's like, wait till you taste this food. He wasn't lying.
No, it was fucking
That
excellent.
little Haitian cooked it all up. Can you believe it?
And that ass tasted good too, and I'm sure mine did too because she initiated.
Lenny had
I didn't ask
chocolate
for it.
donuts for dessert at the strip club.
And she had my bloody hemorrhoid bleeding rectum.
That dirty fucking whore. And
She
she's
liked
just
it.
on to the next guy
Yeah,
that has
that's
no
it.
idea what
Yeah.
she just did.
She liked it. She liked it.
That poor fuck.
It's not the first.
That Colombian was getting so close
Some
to me, like she
asshole be
wanted to
making
kiss.
out with her.
Good
You
thing I
taste
didn't
so
eat some
good.
guy's ass. She could have been doing it. That Colombian that came up to me.
That's rare. Even Mike said that.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
just
Not many-
because I was real hard there. It turned her on.
Yeah.
But I think
Just
it-
because you're real hard, you think that's why she ate your
She don't
ass.
see guys' asses like that. I had trannies the nicest grill ass they ever had. Please begging me, I'll give you your money back if I could bang you. I said, you can try. I mean, it's hard to penetrate, but I can't relax. She said, one tranny said,
But you can relax for a dildo in your ass.
Go figure. Well, there's no. Like I always told people, you want to catch AIDS, take it up the ass. You got a better chance of getting it.
So you think it's more nerves?
Yeah, which is a good thing. But
I told that to that gay guy I was telling you about on the way here, the self-hating queer.
Yeah.
I said, "How'd Magic Johnson get it?" He says he didn't do any homosexual stuff.
Yeah.
He said his penis is so big he ripped into a part of the woman and like she had AIDS, so he got it that way. It's like I don't think so. I agree like you. I think it's very hard to get it.
got it up the ass.
Yeah, Tommy Morrison, the boxer, it's how he got it.
Taking it up the ass?
Lyle's
Taking it or
there,
giving
too.
it.
I
don't-
would have figured he got it sharing needles shooting up roids.
Who?
Nobody
Tommy
does that.
Morrison.
People don't
Nah, you
share.
don't share needle shooting.
No.
And that's still highly hard to
It's
pass
hard to
like
do that. Yeah.
because there's only tiny amounts of blood. Lyle Zado, I don't care what John Romano says, he took it up the ass as well. He didn't get a brain infection. That's very, very rare.
Well, one of them said he was taking a cadaver growth.
That's
and he
still rare.
yeah.
Well, Romano seemed very convinced. And
Yeah.
I've never heard of any kids, and I remember kids when they first started taking that. It was the Crest Kerman. His kid named Eddie O'Connor was a midget, and he was taking that shit for real.
A real midget or just a short
He's
guy?
real short. Catholic school.
It's another word where you can't say midget.
I can.
vertically challenged, I think is what's permitted these days.
Who permits? That's what I like to know. To go fuck yourself. Aaron's, or what's his name? Zuckerberg?
Just like
Jeff
did you watch?
Bezos.
Did you watch the Oscars?
No. For what?
Same shit.
Same fucking imbecile.
What did they do? Bash Trump the whole
Of
night?
course,
yeah.
of course.
Get over it. I mean, come up with some other laugh lines instead of that crap.
And
You couldn't do it to
He's an
Obama.
easy target. Yeah.
Yeah.
you can't do it to him. Like I said, fuck you can't. Ask John Romano when he said his wife looked like a shaved ape.
You didn't see that?
Yeah, I did see
did?
that. Yeah, I remember the interview.
Of course, John lives in Mexico, but fuck those
You
people.
see that painting?
Oh,
they
does
did
he
of a-
really?
Romano lives in Mexico?
Yeah,
Does he? I thought he lived in Florida.
Guadalajara, and he's a
Oh,
personal
really?
trainer at a gym down there.
No shit.
Been there for years.
I remember. I'll never forget the article he wrote. It was like on the back page of Muscular Development, Romano, in like the '90s. He's like, "Well, I'm not telling you to do this. Just what I experimented with." He went to Mexico and like partied so hard for like days, didn't sleep, took all sorts of drugs. Then he said, "You come back and start taking juice and training." He's like, "You grow like a weed because your body's so catabolic from all the drugs and not lack
It
of sleep."
upgrades itself. It makes more sense.
I'll never forget the article. Yeah. It
They
was
say if you keep feeding it the same thing, high protein juice, you don't get any results. A lot of guys, when they're catabolic or like Andrew being off so long, when he goes on, he's going to explode.
Forget it.
yeah. Well, I will. I mean,
He'll look like Mr. Olympia. If he went on test and trend, he would get so big and rip so fast, make your head
it's how
spin.
you get hurt though, because when I'd taken off a couple years when I moved from here to there in 09, I took it 50 milligram D balls. The guy gave me it. He's like, "I don't want any money." He's a chiropractor. He gave me all sorts of stuff. God, I blew up. I got so strong so quick. I mean, the weight was moving so easily on everything, all the compound lifts.
It reminds me, tell him the story when you were at Fort Lauderdale Beach.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that.
One of the stories.
Get your money's worth
One of
now
the
while you're here.
stories.
Yeah.
I go at her all the time. You know, he was working most weekends. Sean, we'd go to Deerfield a lot.
Yeah, he told me you guys used to walk on Deerfield Beach and kick sand in people's faces that were laying down.
Just like Lenny, kick on their phones and laying down. But I went to Fort Lauderdale. I was like, I got tired of paying the quarter, so I'm going to walk. It's a nice day. You know, I'm all juiced up on G. And so I parked like over the bridge and I'm walking. Apparently this guy was watching me. He looked like the warlord watching me the whole time. He had a nice house on the Intercoastal. So I went out there, hung out. I got a burger or whatever. was at the beach, started walking back. This guy approaches me, no shirt, a big bald guy. He's like, hey, man, you want to come over? I'll fix you something to eat, get you some water. I live right over here. And I didn't think he was gay. I don't know what his deal was. So I go in there, I'm hanging out with him. I'm like, yeah. He's like, man, you look great. He's like, how much do you weigh? And this and that. I'm like, yeah, I'm like 290. I got the bloated gut. It's distended with abs. He's like, I like it. He's just like hitting me like that.
Oh, boy.
And then he goes, what do you think about taking some pictures for some money? He goes, I know a guy, he'd pay you top dollar. I was like, well, I mean, is that the extent of it, or what else would I have to do? And he's like, I don't know, man, whatever, I'll give him a call. So he calls his fruit cup down in Miami. Well, I don't remember the guy's name. He's like, I met the man of your dreams on Fort Lauderdale Beach. And the guy,
You're sitting there like, what the fuck I get into?
this big guy, yeah. People
for
like,
P.
I told people, like, why the hell did you go in his house? A big guy's like, oh, really? Like anything at
you're
that
not
time.
scared of
I
the
don't
fucking
scared.
guy.
What's he gonna do? It's broad
And he didn't
daylight.
seem gay, but
No.
those types, the muscle types.
Yeah, he's
remember,
very
they're getting free
educated.
juice or
Yeah.
AIDS infected.
Juiced up. He said he trained down in Miami at the gyms. That's where this guy was that he called him. He's like,
You
I
start
met the
taking
man.
those dosages,
Yeah.
you're going to look manly real quick.
And I started thinking, ate the meal and was like on my way out. And I was like, the G was wearing
You
off.
know, what if he, I don't want to what if, he could have drugged you. He could have put something
Could've.
in that food and you'd be
Yeah.
passed out and you're going
Yeah,
to
what if he was a
up the
Kansas
ass.
City butcher? You're very lucky and very blessed
No
to be
shit.
watched over.
Well, the water, the food, he could have done something to. The water, he twisted the cap. He got it out of the fridge, whatever. I really didn't even think about it. But I gave him a fake number. I was like, nah. And I remember telling him, like, I don't know if I should have taken the guy up on it. He's like, yeah, he just wants to take some pictures. He's like, just in your trunks or nude or whatever.
Or nude.
Out of Miami.
Whatever.
They'd still be on the internet.
Yeah,
now
that's
if
the
he did
thing.
it.
But I just laughed, gave him a phony number. That was it. I never, that was the end of it.
I thought you were going to have him tell the story of carrying the girl all fucked up down.
I had the pictures at Lou's. I brought the pictures too. What was brought to the blonde on the beach?
You have pictures of that?
Yeah, pictures you took.
You were taking.
He's taking pictures of me with all these girls. The Tropicana, or was it the Hawaiian Tropic girl? I got pictures with her. A girl from Hooters, some Haitian.
Yeah.
Some blondes like sticking her butt out outside some like gift shop off the beach. But the girl, the mother was like, put my head down, broad daylight. There's kids around and everything else. He's taking pictures. The daughter was hot. The mom's cunt stunk. Cunt stunk. Remember that? She was DTF. If you know what I mean. And she was drinking all day. She was like madly in love with me. I was telling people I'm Vin Diesel stunt double over there. They said I looked like him, strutting around that beach. And then we were carrying around the G. We would offer it to people, the GHB. So I gave it to her. She chugs it like an idiot. She got so sick and like loopy in the elevator. I'm like, shit. She's like puking. She pissed all over the elevator to these people in there, bystanders. She's like stumbling around, like leaning at her daughters in there with their friends, all sort of pissed, start running at her like, I'm like, oh shit.
God.
So I like picked her up over my shoulder.
Walking around like with a dead body, that fully bare chested.
The daughter was even mad.
Holding her
She's
like
she
a
didn't bat an
doll.
eye. Like this has happened to her before, but her friend was running her mouth. I'm like, shit, they're gonna call the cops. Who knows?
She could have been dead for all we know. We didn't know what else she ingested. You could die if you're taking the wrong shit.
She grabbed the bottle and drank it. So I mean, I don't know what she did all day.
Shit.
So what did you do with
He's
her?
walking down the
Put her-
strip.
dumped her in
this-
the car and
this
we
woman
went.
over his shoulder, completely unconscious, like it's nothing. Something you don't see, believe me.
No shit.
Like, what's she doing? Taking a nap? I mean, it looked like a fucking dead body.
Yeah.
And he's going like a half a mile down the street.
Oh, you
She's like,
fucking
I'm a
guys.
Cuban. I'm a Jew Cuban. She said to me.
Jubin.
Her daughter was nice.
Daughter was hot. And then I don't know if it was that same day or another time, a hot black girl you were making out with over there in Fort
She
Lauderdale.
liked my trash.
Yeah.
She
She was so
rubbing
turned on.
herself
Oh
on-
yeah,
yeah.
she was
She was
drunk. Good looking black broad. I used to love going. That's why I went down by myself. I loved going down
she
there.
was passing out and everything. I don't know what she was on, but yeah. She put her hand around my shoulder.
Yeah, I love to hear that the stories Leonard tells us are true. Because you
Yeah,
were there. to
everything's
witness it.
true.
My friends tell me today in the
Everything's
gym,
true.
people think they're BS, but I got the
Everything's
pictures.
true.
I'll bring them tomorrow whenever. Those two girls on
I didn't
the
know
beach.
you had the pictures.
Look at the pictures to prove it. It's great.
Yeah, we got to get him on the Instagram site, the pictures.
You don't have an Instagram, right?
No.
Do you want to do one?
I
have
should,
to.
yeah, I should get on. I mean,
When you do, let us know.
I think you're going to get a good following.
with those people behind me all day. Those kids.
Probably.
Oh yeah, they're nuts.
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, it is.
Man.
Yeah.
You know, there's always the assholes, but it's fine.
Is there any women you'd like to shout out to? Some of the way I do with Christina Broccolini? Any athletes? Any?
There was one, I don't remember her name, but she was famous. She's an
Track
Australian
star. Yeah, I saw
track
her, yeah.
star. She does this little dance before she's
Real
super-
sexy.
I don't remember her name, though. I would say her, but
Yeah.
yeah. I don't like Lindsey Vaughn running my president down talking shit about Trump. Lindsey
She's a
Vaughn.
cunt.
not impressed.
What did she say? I missed.
Something brainless.
That she doesn't compete for her.
On the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
So she didn't do well in her first couple events, and the conservatives were getting on her, like saying karma, this and that. And she's like, I sleep fine tonight. Good night. She's like, I race for my friends and family, not for my president.
He's setting up a meeting with Kim Jong-un. They should set up a meeting in a fucking barber shop. It's two assholes.
That's a bad idea. They should both go to Rob's place.
Where
we did the video with Lenny.
I think he has our best interest in mind. It's like this. If you're going to go to a doctor, you got to get cancer removed. Do you want politically correct doctor that sucks, that's going to screw it up? Or do you want a guy that's got a truck driver's mouth, but he's going to get the job done? He's going to be like, roll over. This is how I'm going to do it. This is how we're going to get it done. We're going to get it out.
You're referring to Jay Masters as a truck driver?
Yeah, whatever.
Well, we were talking about that with football teams wanting milk drinkers instead of, beer drinkers.
Yeah.
Everybody's, like we were talking about Richie Incognito getting kicked off the Dolphins.
Yeah, I didn't know that story because his brothers with sports. Tell him that story. Nobody knows.
Where he used to go down to the training camp. Jonathan Martin, he's the fucking asshole that got caught. He was posting shit online with a gun or something. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the one that got bullied on the Dolphins.
Oh,
they got rid of Richie Incognito because he led the charge with the bullying. But I guess the story was what set him over the edge was,
which we don't know about.
Yeah, Jonathan, his sister was a squirter. And one of the guys on the team was fucking her. So when they were at training camp, they were all doing their stretching, and Incognito had a water bottle. And so a few other guys did too. They're stretching and they're shooting the water bottles. Just flipped them out. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Nobody knew that. Yeah. Nobody, now they know it.
No.
Great.
Probably shouldn't have said it. Who gives a fuck?
Remember we went down to Dolphin camp? I was 285. You were over 300.
The players got distracted.
They all turned and looked. Tim Bowens
in particular. Look at that guy.
Yeah, they're all like looking over at us. I'm standing on the fence looking at him, just staring
next to
at
his flabby ass.
Again, I mean, juiced up, they're tested or whatever, so they haven't seen physiques like ours.
And then my goal every year was to come down and shout, hey, give me a tryout, you fucking asshole. I'm going to knock the fuck out of you right now.
We snuck it into the FAU football team locker room, one of their first or second years. He couldn't even fit any of those helmets on his head.
No
He's
shit.
like, look at these cookie cutters, these little helmets.
One on my head
little pussies on this.
And the little strength coach, I'm the strength coach. He was like rolling his eyes at us. I was like, I want to try out nose tackle.
They got a good facility there now. Nice
now
stadium.
They do with Kiffin, They were like, nobody's just a startup program. They should have given us a shot.
They still are.
Yeah, they still tiny little division.
Too politically correct, though. Can't take drugs. Can't hit people. Fuck that.
Yeah, the game has changed a lot, man.
They can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, the ratings are down.
You're a Cincinnati fan, you said?
Yeah.
Why
I
is
liked
that?
their helmets when I was a kid. I had a football yearbook with the stickers, and on the back was all the helmets, and I just stared at the helmets, and I'm like, Daddy, I like this team with the
I remember when it just said Bengals in letters.
Yeah.
It looked like the Cleveland Browns because it was Paul Brown's team, and it said Bengals in letters. Really stupid-looking uniforms. Really bad.
Yeah, they suck.
They did that for that first Super Bowl they were in. A year or two before they changed to the Tigers.
Oh, fun fact I found out was Mike Brown, the owner, his brother passed away, Pete Brown. He's the innovator of Hammer strength equipment. I never knew that.
Oh,
No
yeah.
shit.
He died, He was very much into strength training. He was like
So it wasn't Gary Jones, Arthur Jones' son?
Yeah, the Nautilus guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah,
Hammer strength is good stuff. Yeah.
Arthur Jones is a very interesting character. He had crocodiles and alligators in DeLand, Florida. He had his compound up there.
DeLand,
all different types of wildlife. He's go to South Africa, pick up a bunch of wild game, and he's the one that theorized the high-intensity training method of adding muscle. One set to failure. Invented Nautilus. Yeah.
With Palumbo, like you guys were talking, 1 or 2 sets is all you need. Everything else is overkill.
I think 2 is smart. It's hard to do it with 1.
These kids I see in the gym with no size, hours and hours, set after set after set. You're just
It's not getting the job
you need
done.
at least one warm-up set and then 2.
yeah, but they're doing like same weight over and over and over and over.
Like Mike Menzer said, you could tap a stick of dynamite with a pencil all day. Nothing's going to happen. You hit it with a hammer, it's going to explode.
It's like sun tanning.
Your body has to get the message. We're crushed. Now we need to repair.
The one thing I regret is we didn't go high enough volume on our legs. That's why they lagged.
Yeah, high enough
low
reps.
reps. Strong as shit on legs, not enough. Basically what we did was squats and leg press.
Our legs actually look better now. We're not squatting
Yeah.
what we used to.
Because you keep tension on. We should have done more reps.
Although
more
women,
volume.
you want an ass, You squat.
Squat, yeah.
Squat any way you want. Stick your ass out. That's what it's designed to do. Anybody wants an ass, you eat correctly and squat. Then could get back to me in 6
our
months.
back routine at our heaviest, we were doing chin-ups. As heavy as we were, chin-ups, bent over rows, deadlifts, and like 1 or 2 row movements. That was it. We had the best backs on
No,
stage.
I'm fucking around at
Once
Planet
a week?
Fitness, smaller
Once
than
a
ever.
week.
That's got to
Yeah.
So you just hit every body part once a week. Yeah.
But interesting, I just started watching a video with John Meadows, who's a very smart guy up in Ohio. He recommends doing twice a week, like a heavy base movement with compounds, and then the second day the pump and stretch, get the blood in there.
Which gets the nutrients in there.
methodical. Yeah, when you're taking juice, if you're natural, I don't recommend that at all. Once a week, 2 to 3 work sets, that's it, and get out of there. But when you're taking stuff, yeah. And I plan on doing legs twice a week if I get back.
And I hate to say it, the most heavily muscled men in history, arguably, Art Atwood, Ronnie Coleman, Bill Kazmaier, they did twice a week training.
Did Kovacs?
No.
What, like 3 days on, 1 day off?
Yes. I don't think Kovacs had the muscle per height that these guys did.
Yeah, the recovery, that's what I'm missing now. I could train twice a week when I go back on because I'll be recovered. So, but you're eating right and sleeping right, why not do it?
Depends what you want, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even if you want to be big or ripped, the key is using that heavy weight, because when you strip that fat off, you're going to look more ripped from the heavy training. You're going to look harder.
Shit, on my days off now, being clean, there's nothing else to do up there. I'll train twice a day, especially if it's legs. I'll split it up.
Really?
If I feel good, I get a nap. I'm getting high calories in. I feel good enough. I get back in there and do a second session.
Huh.
So
That's good if you got the energy at the end of the day.
What the hell else am I going to do? I mean, there's nothing to do up there.
You think you could ever hit 600 pounds again on a bench?
Yeah, I think I could.
Wow.
If I wanted to.
Wow.
But at this point, if I can't surpass what I did, which I think would be very, very difficult,
What's the point?
what's the point? Bodybuilding, I think I left some on the table. I have unfinished business,
Yes.
so possibly there's
The maniacs would like to see that.
I think I could be smarter about everything now.
I mean, you're hitting those side chest poses. You look phenomenal.
Ruby 2018.
That'd be great.
You got, what is it, March?
It's the Ruby, for crying out loud.
You got-
Boston,
Yeah,
you gotta
Boston,
do it.
chicken
You got
town.
6 months. You could get into that. At that show?
I could. But there's a show up by me. I've been dying to do it. They give you a sword if you want, and I want that
Do
damn
it.
sword. I want to get on that stage like a Viking
Do it.
and win it.
That'd be
Swing
great.
that sword around so bad. I see these cookie cutters winning it.
Can't even.
You
lift
really
it.
look like ISIS.
Can't
there.
even lift the
Fucking beard.
sword.
Just fucking slice one of those judges' heads off.
It'd be awesome. I'll get that chainmail that Steiner would wear with the beard, and I'll swing the sword around. This is for you, Lenny.
Yeah, to motivate my sorry ass Planet Fitness going.
Yeah, that's tough.
You got to get out of there.
Tell me
Jeez, I
about
mean,
it.
I could see going to use the tanning bed and the other thing you
Red
said.
light therapy.
But God,
Pizza
you can't
night,
train there.
Monday nights. Free
Yeah,
pizza, which
yeah,
we missed, by
pizza
the way.
off season. But you can't train
That
there
Domino's
exclusively.
sucks, man. Oh,
Yeah, I can't eat Domino's. This is good. This is real pizza.
Yeah. We need our own gym. That world gym.
I want to get a bench. I'm going to might get a truck from Dick's, because then I'll be able to do inclines, flats, and presses. Jay Master's bench is useless. It's a
It's
piece of
broken.
shit.
The fucking thing is broken.
Yeah, it is.
You
He's
got
trying to
enough
say-
weight. You got enough weight back there.
Yeah,
It's good.
Yeah.
One of the last stories I got to share, one of the last memories I have living down here was when Chromie hired us to scare somebody out of that residence. So Lenny and I trained. I was on juice. It was like 2007. On GHB, of course. We go to this place, this house, somewhere in Delray, not too far from here.
And what we were told, we were paid and told to scare a guy.
Paid and told to eat whatever you want out of the kitchen, which I did. I started
He's living there and he's breaking stuff
Yeah.
with the electric and trying to fuck up the place.
How much did he pay you?
$100 a piece or whatever. Yeah, I don't remember. Somebody tipped this guy off because he saw the silhouettes and he bolted down the street. We're waiting in there.
I
He's
mean,
like, I want to kill this
We're,
guy.
we're lucky.
You went into his house and waited for
Well,
him?
it was like rehab people living there.
Right
or
as soon
something.
as he opened the door, we
Yeah.
were going to pounce on him, and I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah, white guy.
We were so hyped up.
Yeah.
He ran in and jumped back and said, whoa, and ran down the street
Yeah.
screaming and yelling, trying to
I wasn't going to hit him, but I was going to grab him, just like fling him around the room a little bit, just to scare him a little bit. Yeah. But we were so excited for it. We're on Geo. Like, this is great.
Remember that we had to evict a cookie cutter drug addict from an apartment?
Yeah.
And he had a bunch of skulls and satanic
Yeah.
shit. And me and Andrew lifted himself, and he's saying, be careful with that. We're ignoring him. And then he said, next time I did it, I threw something on the fucking thing, and it shattered one of his dresser or something. He's like pissing and moaning, this ain't right or whatever. I just completely ignored him. Threw it on a fucking...
So wait, you had a realtor guy that would have you evict people from his
druggies,
properties?
yeah. And
A realtor, he just
and this
leased
druggie-
some of
Or
it.
a landlord?
yeah, this druggie had the audacity to
Never
bitch
did
about how we were moving his shit for him.
Yeah.
So I figured, well, get this, and I fucking threw it right into the fucking thing, and it shattered. It was like a
Then there was
dress
that
or something.
pretty boy, like towards the end of while I was living here. I picture him. I don't remember his name. He was a loan shark. People owed him gambling debts. He was a prick though. He would talk like smart mouth me over the phone. We went to some lady's house somewhere in East Boca. Remember, all G'd up. Just knocked on the door, asked for the husband. He wasn't there.
Yeah, I
She was
remember that.
scared
Yeah,
shitless.
yeah, collection. Yeah.
He starts throwing up. We took so much GHB. I remember the way back. He's like puking his guts up. I'm over by the Walmart getting gas. I go to take a piss. I come out. He's screaming at some Haitian. What you say about this country, boy? He goes, go fuck your mother, pal, you Haitian. He's like, Lenny's screaming at
Said,
him.
yeah, you're all
Up.
talk.
And then we're driving down Military towards Boynton. Lenny's posing at some wimp on a motorcycle. This old guy's like, oh, I want to see this. He goes, why are you sticking your nose in my business, boy? Don't be a nosy asshole.
And they fucking-
Lenny's posing, like hitting poses at this guy outside at the window. I was dying.
Yeah, we were approached a lot for collections,
Remember
guys.
the Haitian girl in Delray? You like pull the car over. I pull over. He's on.
She's
G.
walking.
He
It's
starts
dark
dropping.
on Federal.
Oh my God! Stop following me!
And
What
I
do you
pulled
want to
my
rape
dick
me?
out. I ran out of the
Leave
car.
me alone! Are you trying to rape
Stop!
me? Oh my God!
Lenny's like, look at this. He pulls his pants down. She's like 20 yards away, but she's running.
Are you
I thought it was
trying
funny,
to
I mean,
rape me?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Stop following me! You want to rape me? Leave me alone!
Lenny's laughing. He's like, look at this. It was funny. I mean, it was harmless. It was just so off the wall, like so, like spur of the moment. Like, dude,
We had to collect
fucking
money
great.
from an old man that one time at about $10,000, some mafia type. So they recruited me and Andrew, give us $100 a piece. Go over to this bar in Boca in broad daylight. We walk in with this guy. I'm like 4 something. He's 3 something. Guy's like 70 years old,
oh my God,
60.
I felt so bad.
Sitting at the stool, like having a good time with his buddies. He turns around and we're standing there. And the guy with us says, hey, you didn't think I forget about this? What did you? You owe us some money. And the guy looked at us.
Yeah, he starts shaking.
And we're standing there. I said, Andrew, watch his hands. If he reaches for anything, break his hand. So the old man's like, oh my God. He goes, I just had brain surgery. And I felt really bad. He was shaking almost. But he paid up.
Oh,
he didn't have the
paid
money,
up,
but
yeah.
he paid up real quick, he said. But the guy almost had a heart attack because he saw the size
This
of
old
us.
guy, I was ready for. He didn't like divulge details of what the guy looked like. I'm thinking some young little wise ass punk. We're gonna show up and say you're gonna pay up. It's this old guy. I felt bad.
No, he turned around, and you don't see guys our size. He's like, what the fuck?
We're wearing tank tops.
You fucking cheap labor, man. You get 10 grand for a couple hundred. It's great.
I remember there was a tanning salon by the Delray Fitness Center. Is it still there? Remember the tanning salon?
Yeah, it's still there, right?
Yeah.
The tanning salon is? Really?
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think anything's open
It's
over
still
there.
there.
John Durante knew some girl that was working there one night, and she had a little scooter outside. I remember Lenny drops her out, gets on his scooter. She's looking out the window like, oh my God, look at this guy.
Rubbing my
He's
balls
like,
on the
vroom,
seat.
vroom. Look at me, vroom, vroom. I'm dying laughing.
Balls
John,
all over the
John's
seat.
like, bro, what's up with your buddy? Why's he doing that?
Sick fuck.
He's rubbing his balls. He drops trout. He's like, Andrew, look, vroom, vroom on his little scooter.
Somebody took a picture.
Yeah.
Do you have that picture on hand? That'd be good.
Sick fuck.
God, it's like you don't meet people like this. I was like, this is
we never
hilarious.
got
I don't have
into
the balls to do
We
it.
never got into an ounce of trouble.
No.
Ever.
Remember you pissed on the girl's handle that worked the desk at World Gym? She had a little attitude with us, that little hick. He pissed all over her handle. I think you thought you had diabetes because you were pissing so much out there. So she comes out. She was like, little bitchy attitude at the desk. She puts her hand on that handle, like looks at us, and gets in that car and drives off. He's like, watch this, Andrew. I'm gonna piss all over her handle.
Not only in Jack, we piss out in the parking lot, broad daylight.
Sort of
The
chicken
guy
wings.
told us, hey, somebody's leaking antifreeze.
Yeah, he was pissing. Thought he had diabetes because you were messing with the insulin. He's like, he'd piss like drinking tons of water. Piss was like green, was like all in the parking lot. He's like, you're leaking antifreeze there. He's eating chicken wings, throwing them all over the place. Those were good times. Like, yeah, we'd hang
The
out there.
classic.
Yeah.
Can we suck your dicks,
Yeah.
please? Can we suck your dicks? Like you're going trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
Cute as a button. A black girl and a blonde. Both with nice white teeth. Can we suck your dicks? Oh, jeez. And what the fuck was I thinking? Fuck.
Yeah.
Suck my dick and lick my ass like a Cuban.
Remember Val at Limburgers in Lake Worth? She wanted to blow us and do all sorts of things.
Yeah, the biker chick.
Yeah, the biker chick.
And she goes, what kind of man are you? When a woman wants to be satisfied, we blew her off. She wasn't bad. She was clean. She had nice teeth. She's a freak.
First thing he always says to teeth. Nice teeth.
What was it, the Abbey Road Grill over there in Delray we'd go to? There's some
All
decent
the time.
broads in there.
Yes. We did well with women.
Yeah.
I mean, some thought we were repulsive and some were turned on.
But as soon as we trimmed down, you had to beat them off with a stick.
Yes, we
You
did.
didn't even have to
first time.
come on to them. They would just flock.
Beat him off with a stick.
I was even accused of being gay by some at LA Fitness because I wouldn't come on to them. Like,
you guys fucking went to gay bars together.
no, because this girl, she was cute. She was a nurse from Boston. Dated this wimp, Boomer his name was, this little freak. And she was all nervous, like I trained her. She was doing curls or whatever.
Hell, your mother accused us of being gay.
Yeah. But I was training her, I was trying to be professional, like separate work from that. And then I was working at Deluxe one night at the door. She's all drunk. She's like, I got a question to ask you. I knew it was going to come out of your mouth. She's like, are you gay? You never came on to me. I was like, well, trying to, maintain some modicum of professionalism at work. I do need to make a living. So,
Well, that was
but I still
like
banged
that response.
Still banged a lot of girls from LA Fitness and World Gym.
You're like a fiend.
There was like a point where every girl I met was from the gym.
And where was the sharing at this point? It's abruptly stopped.
You weren't into those, the white cookie
I
cutter
wasn't.
types.
Try me. White cookie cutters.
Yeah.
If only there was cameras back then.
I wish.
Guys. Who gave you the name the Bronco Brothers?
I don't even know.
Chick who worked the front desk at the Old World Gym. It may have been the same hick whose
Pissed
door
on the
handle he
car.
pissed
Really?
on. It was a tall chick, kind of
No, it
redneck.
wasn't her. She was young, this girl.
Remember they had a heroin addict over there, and she thought I was a drug dealer. She was older.
Remember that?
She says, "Here's my keys." She goes, I'll do anything for some 8-ball.
Yes, I remember.
Anything. Here's my keys.
She came running in the locker room. You were the only one in there late, like on Friday night.
Yeah, she had the
naked.
black tights on.
She couldn't care less. She's like, I need some
She didn't give a
8-ball
fuck,
tonight.
man.
Some 8-ball?
Yeah.
I don't say
That's
some
what you said. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
You know what an 8-ball is?
Yeah.
Coke.
Yeah.
That's odd for a heroin addict, but yeah, she was not scared. Take my keys. But I said, oh, not me.
I heard Kamali was so big off season. And I knew a guy that knew him. He said Kamali's like, can you hold my nose while I snort this line? My arms are so pumped. And he'd have to plug the side of his nose so he could snort lines. Kamali's a big party animal.
What are the two of you plans tonight for the rest of the night?
Oh, it's up to Andrew.
What time we got?
Well, it's daylight.
It is?
We
10.
turn the clocks ahead
Really?
an
10
hour,
o'clock?
so it's really 11.
God, time flies.
Yeah.
It does.
Remember to turn
These
the
things
clock.
go by quick,
Yeah.
man.
We've been rolling now for 3 hours and 5 minutes.
Wow. 3 hours?
Yeah.
Jeez.
We hit our fucking limit.
And Andrew got to work, fortunately.
Do you?
But I'm off Monday, so if you guys want to get together
What
Monday
time you
before
leave
you go.
Monday?
I leave 6:15. Of course, I got to be
At
there
night?
2 hours. Yeah, 2
That's
hours
okay.
early.
Then we got to
You're
work.
better
For,
off,
for a
though, 'cause-
domestic flight, you don't have to be there.
Yeah, but you got to beat the traffic.
You got to
Monday
be the
down.
traffic
I
and
guess.
Maybe
You wanna-
we-
you
You have
wanna
to
leave-
return the
you gotta
car,
leave
too.
Maybe we could do a Monday morning
3:34.
workout.
Yeah.
I got
If
legs.
you want.
Yeah.
I'll meet you guys at the gym if you want.
LA.
You can do that.
I think Delray is better for girls.
But for legs, Vogue is better.
I don't know.
You got the hack squat machine. You got the
I like the
3-leg
one at
presses.
Delray better.
Really?
It's that modified hack squat machine. It takes pressure off your knee.
Nah, it's not bad, but it's not as good as the one in Boca. No way. You can use the exercise ball.
Nice. Yeah. Get a lot of flex.
So
with that.
crowded though at that time. You got
Which
to go
gym?
early. LA,
Oh, yeah.
Delray.
Yeah, but there's a lot of pussy there.
Really?
What time? Noon.
You know the usual time, 11.
One of the Mark
Yeah.
Alvise, you can scream at him. Mark
He goes to
Alvise.
Delray, but he goes early. Like it's 6 when we're
Yeah,
there.
with the
Early,
druggies.
6 to 8.
I don't know what he does for a living.
Didn't he have like a food service, like a meal?
Yeah, it didn't last. Then Larry was subsidizing him for the Nationals.
Allegedly.
Exactly.
Well, Andrew, anything else you want to add to the Maniacs? Let them know.
No.
When are you back down?
Back down here?
Yeah.
Who knows?
You come again in the fall. You know,
Not
Yeah.
once every 10
October.
years. Come on. It's a fucking couple
Yeah,
$100
I'll get down
flight.
for that.
Yeah.
Fall of
you
spring.
can't let 10 years go by before you
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. It's 10 years. I mean, time flies. I mean, for
Christina will
sure.
be flying me away before then.
Yeah.
He'll be dead in a year, so you might want to get down. You should come down for the Ruby.
Yeah.
That's when?
End
September?
of September.
And compete.
Yeah, we'll see.
Super heavyweight, there's only 2 people, Leonard and this other guy.
You think Genova will do it this year?
Nah. Who knows?
Who cares?
Why are you worried about another competitor? We'll have to
You
worry
guys
about
got to
beating
patch
him.
things up with old Jason.
I don't know, man. Hey, listen.
Is it beyond repair.
People need to realize Jason left us. We
Yeah.
never kicked him out of anything.
I don't know what the hell
he
he's
made a
thinking.
video saying, I can't be with them for A, B, C, and D. We never said, Jason, you're out.
Yeah.
But now, now it's at a point where it's, who knows?
Would you welcome him back if he apologized to guys? I was wrong.
I don't think he would.
You don't think he would?
No.
I don't think he would.
Because
Because he doesn't think he's wrong.
Because he has nothing to gain if he does.
Yeah.
We don't give him shit. If we're PJ Braun,
Yeah.
then he would run and apologize to us because he has something to gain from PJ. Handouts, money. He has nothing to gain from us except only what he earned in T-shirt sales. He got every cent of that.
Yeah.
But he doesn't receive any handouts, presents, cash, etc. So he has no reason to apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
That's
doesn't
fine.
give a
He's
shit.
banging out, 3 shitty videos a day. He's all right.
He just films them himself and
Yeah.
uploads them.
Yeah, he really. I don't think he gives a shit. He's got.
He
no
doesn't
kind of
care.
conscience.
He
doesn't.
doesn't.
Care.
It
He's
means
doing his
nothing
own
to
thing,
him.
and that's fine. Let him do his own thing. Who gives a shit? It's,
Well, I gotta say,
Right.
one of the funniest videos I ever saw was that toenail video with the way you were bitching at him. My God, I
was
laughed my
great.
butt off watching that.
And that thing has
Oh, my-
probably already grown back to that size at this point.
It did a month later.
Yeah.
He's like got a mental block with that shit.
Onychomycosis, toenail fungus.
Leonard's got a gift to open up over here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Who's it from?
Chris Overholt.
Did he want his name said?
Too late now.
Oh, they like getting plugs, those kids.
From where? What state?
I think it's Illinois. I could be mistaken.
Oh my god. I know what it is.
I was about to say, what's in there,
How do you
right?
know?
Because he messaged me.
It's Christina Broccolini's head.
Oh, come on.
It's your soiled panties.
It's a big box, about twice the size of a shoebox.
How the fuck do you open a goddamn box? Look at this animal.
Holy shit. That's
Cleaning
nice.
supplies.
He really sent that shit. Oh my god.
It's a nice
Big
typed
Lenny
up
and the
letter.
Delray Misfits. My name is Chris. I live in Chicago. I've been a fan of yours for a few years. I like watching your videos and look forward to new ones. The videos documenting condition of Lenny's apartment inspired me to help any way I could. I work as a custodian in an elementary school in the suburb of Chicago. I have access to commercial-grade cleaning supplies and tools, so I donate a few things to help clean up and maintain his apartment. I know Lenny's stubborn, doesn't want to be a cookie cutter,
But you have to
Living
use
in
the
a clean-
supplies, not just have
Exactly.
them.
He still has a mop in there that he still has not used, even though it just needs mop.
take care of Lenny and the rest of the Misfits. I just want to help out a fellow human being. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, are you going to use
What does that
anything
say?
he gave you?
I have a bottle of liquid scour cleanser, a bottle of mint bowl cleanser, a toilet bowl
He
brush,
sent you a list of what he
green
put in
power sponge, yellow light duty sponge, air neutralizer, rules of garbage bags, microfiber cleaner cloths, multi-purpose cloths, bathroom
Hey, I
cloths,
might keep some of that stuff.
and one mop because
he'll use it. He won't.
just needs mopped.
Thanks, Chris. What a nice kid.
Thanks.
Very nice little care package there.
Great.
that he stole from the elementary school.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I want to thank you, Chris. And if there's anything else I can do to help, yes, if you could help in the process of trying to reach Christina Broccolini for a video of a meeting between us. And hopefully,
I'll tell you what, Lenny. Use those cleaning supplies to clean your house. We'll come and film it cleaned.
okay.
And then this guy can work on getting you Christina Broccolini. But until Lenny cleans his house, no one try to help him get him to meet Christina Broccolini.
That's fair.
You got to clean your house first.
How hard can it be?
Right.
You have 2 full days off a week.
Yeah, but,
It's
you
a fucking
recuperate.
disaster.
Eh,
It's going to take you a full fucking day,
yeah,
if not
to
2.
clean that green mucus off the floor.
That's
Why would you do that?
yeah. Were you doing that? Were you
Just
hocking up
coughing
loogies on your
coughing
floor?
it up when I'm in bed, and then I reach over and spit it on the floor.
Do you clean it up afterwards?
No, I let it sit and harden.
Why?
Just fucking, you had to go back to sleep.
That reminds me of Caddyshack with Bill Murray and Chevy Chase, and the guy's like, whew, he spits on his floor. Bill Murray, and he's like, Chevy Chase is afraid to sit or touch anything and drink out of his cups. Hey man, you ever want to hang out and just get weird with somebody?
There's no need to shout me on a podcast. Yes, there is. Thanks,
Well, I
Chris.
already did.
Too late.
Thanks, Chris.
Nice kid.
Make sure you use it.
Thank you very much.
All right.
You sounded like Elvis when you said that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You'll probably die on the toilet, too.
Lenny, I got something in my system. It's just dying to come out tonight. I don't know what.
That's what we used to say. You're honest.
Oh, boy.
Or you'd say, guess what? I got a confession to make.
Did you ever see the movie The Boys Next Door with Charlie Sheen? It's kind of an obscure movie from the 80s where they ride around in a primer car. And the guy, I don't know, the main guy, he's like talking to Sheen. He's like, I got stuff in my system. He's like, what do you mean stuff? He's like, I got to get it out, meaning he had to kill somebody.
Oh,
so that's
shit.
what he did. That's what the movie was about. Good movie. I highly recommend it. The Boys Next
shit.
Door.
Well, that's what Lenny always says. You got to get it out of your system.
Killing
I believe
somebody?
it. Not killing, but that's what the movie. It just reminded me of that. Saying, get something out of my system.
He's talking about tranny hunting.
Yeah. No, I don't really want a tranny.
I want to see what his live is still out up there. I haven't been up there in years. I'm curious. How else would I
Both
get
you
up
could
there?
stay at Lou's, right?
Yeah, he
Two
wouldn't
beds
mind.
there?
Yeah, he's got a big place.
Oh boy, you should
In case you get too tired.
You think you can work that camera? You should take it with you.
I'll never see it again.
Didn't you go up there one time for you did a show?
That's the night I crashed my mother's car.
You said some girl pissed
That was
on
the
you?
Diana Cadu, wasn't it?
No, that was
2014.
yes.
Yeah.
That was that night. I went
was
to
at the
Moonfest.
end.
Tell me, I was up in Carolina. He's like, you went by yourself to Moonfest. Some girl pissed on your
Yeah.
boyfriend's there. Like, bro, don't you have any pride? And you're like, I got up real quick and said, what are you insinuating?
Yes,
And then you said your mom's car smelled like piss.
yes.
Yeah, you told
I
me
was
about
pressing girls. They were
Yeah.
taking pictures.
were-
I
you were what?
ripped
You
the
were
fence. I ripped the fence open. A hole in the fence. I had a fence stuff. I ripped it open. I didn't even pay. And I'm walking around with the coloring on. And girls said, "Remember these girls? Look at your traps." I says, "Kick me, please. Kick me. Kick me in the balls." And they got footage out there.
It would have surfaced by now, I'm sure.
Please contact Christina, please. I've seen visions of me.
Not until you clean your place.
That's the only
a
antidote.
That's a
That's a
stipulation.
stipulation.
To get these things out of your system, the antidote is a nice, wholesome relationship with Christina. She'd be doing people a lot of good, and Lenny too.
I still see her as a goddess, something beyond. Although I have visions of us going on a remake of that TV show Dancing with the Stars and dancing ballroom style.
What the fuck?
Yes, I think it would be a hit. I think we're going to do it. It's a project.
I'm thinking American Idol after that performance in Busybody.
Yeah, or The Voice.
Yeah, as long as they need to do is get on tune.
Yeah, sure.
Throw in a little auto tune
Hey,
and you're
I'd
good
watch
to go.
You are the woman that I've always dreamed of. I knew it from the start. I saw your face, and that's the last I've seen of my heart.
And then I rimmed the stripper at Diamond Dolls.
Whoa, whoa. You are the woman that I've always dreamed
Equalize,
of.
right?
That girl, when she came out from beyond those drapes, she had a big shit-eating grin on her face.
And her hair was all
Literally.
fucked up.
She
Literally.
was all
Literally.
disheveled.
Oh, yeah, you
She's all
She went in for a little probe, and apparently she liked how it tasted because
I guarantee
she started.
you she's never seen that or will ever see that shit
No.
again, what you did.
Then she started doing like I did her and sucked it. You know how to suck it right and make that noise.
That face you just made is so
But she's
fucking
quick,
disturbing.
man. When that load
Wish I wasn't
shot out,
looking at you when you
she
did
went
that.
like
What do you
this.
call it? The GIF where they put
Cat-like
the little
reflexes.
Lenny's face.
But to tell you the truth, her fingernail was just as good as the tongue. It felt great. Like Jay Master said, the prostate stimulation, it works.
With a dirty fingernail.
Well, like I said, the key to is having a strong immune system. You should be able to do those things and live about it, and not be dying from it. The average cookie cutter, their immune system couldn't handle it because they're doing drugs and not enough protein or essential fats, getting enough vitamin D through the sunlight. But I am.
All right.
She had a shit-eating grin, huh?
Yeah.
That's
But
great.
she just ate your shit.
I ate hers. The feeling's
Hey,
mutual.
at least she returned the favor. That's very nice of her. And you got out of there for $100.
Yeah, but she got more out of it than me because I just took
You
a
got all
shit.
that for
She didn't.
$100.
She was too
Yeah,
clean.
you were back there a while. For $100.
Yeah,
Mike Titz thought it would be at least $300.
Yeah.
she couldn't stop. Once I started sucking those armpits, that's another thing. She couldn't stop.
She didn't have hairy armpits, right?
No, I was kind of disappointed, but
What?
to go back to the Haitian,
Oh my god.
Back to the hood.
which I remember she told me, I said, how come you got hair on your arms? It's for play. And when I started sucking it, she says, how you know I like that?
And he got the little fucking white clumps
When,
of
today?
deodorant hanging
No, the
off.
Haitian years ago. How you know I like that, big man? How you know? I says, I don't know. Just feel like doing it when I see it. Nice and hairy and sweaty.
It's for play.
It's for play.
All right, we're done. Andrew, it's been a pleasure, dude.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
I think it's
Good
one of the-
all these years.
I think it's one of the best podcasts we had.
Yeah.
Longest, too.
Very informative.
Probably go another 3 hours.
Yeah, no shit.
We'll do this again. Come back.
See, it's
come
much
back
better
in the
than
fall,
you
man.
calling in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How about this? Get in touch with Dale and he'd come pick you up next time. Ride down in the
Not a bad
truck.
idea.
He's
Yeah.
only an hour away from you.
Yeah, I'm along the way. You know, here. If he's gonna drive, we could split the driving.
You guys doing a training session would be good to film.
You hear that, Dale?
Both of you guys on
but
gear
he's not gonna be back
when he
till-
makes a comeback.
Yeah.
Well, neither's Andrew. He's got time to wait too. So
You know, if
Give him
it's
some look.
about time for the Ruby, I don't know what his
the Dale
condition is.
Chance,
Six-
Andrew
6
Collura
months from now.
workouts.
Maybe he can
Yeah.
get healed up. Who knows?
Yeah, there you
Collab. Maybe Big J will be here. We'll have a good time. Maybe I'll be on something. I'll move some
So
weight.
in other words, you want Big J to be here.
I'm disappointed. I was waiting on him.
He's disappointed too, believe
Yeah.
me.
What do you think his chances Michigan Wolverines are next year?
Slim to none. They get their ass kicked by South Carolina every time they play them.
Yep.
So it ain't like the good old days with old Woody Hayes there.
Or Schembechler.
Schembechler, yeah. Woody Hayes was Ohio State.
All right.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Ah, we don't say that.
You sound like John Ramon. Who said that?
You called him a cookie cutter at the end of it.
Yeah, peace out.
I gotta go.
You know who else said that? The cat abandoner. And I said, you invent that term? He says, no, my brother did. He actually got me on that. The cat abandoner with one testicle who will remain nameless.
Good night, maniacs.
Good night, Christina. Happy birthday weekend, and I love you, and I'll see you soon.